Le Mans 24-hour, the Circuit de la Sarthe here at the Le Mans International Cuisine. Everybody loves this place. The 92nd running of the 24 Hours of Le Mans, and 101 years since the race originally began. It's time to kick off. And it is time for free practice one. The session is about to get underway. We're around about 3 minutes to go until the green flag is signalled. Eduardo Freitas, the race director, will give us that information. And fingers crossed, everything is set up for what we're going to have. 3 hours of first practice. Megan Birch is going to join me shortly in the commentary box as well to get ready for this one. And throughout the week, we'll be joined by numerous members of the JBMotorsports team and also some very special guests as well popping up during the 24 Hours of Le Mans. So, here we go again then, everyone. A brand new year. World Endurance Championship looking slightly different. Hypercar and GT3s have been the main factor. But this is the only round of the championship where LMP2 are back on the calendar after they were kicked out of the main World Endurance Championship to make way for more hypercars. Now, finally, the LMP2s are back. Using the same LMP2s that we have over at IMSA, they've been invited back. Here's Eduardo Freitas.
3 minutes to the start of the Le Mans 24 hours free practice one session.
There's Eduardo Freitas, legendary race director in the World Endurance Championship. Had a brief season in Formula 1 where he nearly killed Pierre Gasly at the Japanese Grand Prix. So, same old really. But yeah, that's he's much better suited to World Endurance Championship, is Eduardo Freitas as well. But we're almost ready to go. Yes, so IMSA basically handing over their LMP2 category to come and race at Le Mans as well, which is fantastic. Le Mans basically now just how it originally was. We have the hypercars and we have the LMGT3 cars as well. They're the classes. But we also have LMP2 and LMP2 Pro-Am category, making a total, are you ready for this? A total of 62 cars on this grid and 183 drivers. It is madness to try and keep up with all of them throughout this weekend. Eduardo Freitas.
May now be pushed to the fast lane. Cars may now be pushed to the fast lane.
So the cars are now being allowed to push into the fast lane, and hopefully as well the driver tracker will hopefully work, because here's the thing, we have no idea where the live timing page is. We've got one from, well, you can obviously see the live timing page, the same as us, but the driver tracker never usually appears until Sunday. But I got sent this link as well, which looks like it has the driver tracker page on FIA WEC TV. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed that they are going to appear as the number 7 Toyota spins up its front wheels and heads down into the pit. And there's the 46 with Valentino Rossi in the BMW. Yeah, Valentino Rossi is doing this one as well. And we've got about 90 seconds, or 60 seconds now until the light goes on. Give you a quick look at what we've got access to. We've got the WEC timing pages with session stats as well. Eduardo Freitas.
Any or all of your wheels.
For your information, some cars were already in the fast lane before they were allowed to do so. We are currently on the process of identifying those cars, and they will be reported to the stewards for disrespect of race director's instructions.
Well,
Interesting. So, yeah, that's going to be a little more to look at. 25 seconds to go. So, yes, we've got the session stats. We've also got the full timing screen available. Sometimes it works. But also then we've got the cut-down version, which has the driver tracker as well. We also have, when we need it, an orbit screen that you'll be seeing as well every time we come in and out of the session. But let's get ready to go.
To respect track limits. There is an absolute need to respect track limits. We are at 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pit exit is now open. Pit exit is now open. As I was saying, remind drivers of the need to respect track limits. Remind drivers of the need to respect track limits.
And we are underway. The 2024 Le Mans 24 Hours is underway, and we do have an actual driver tracker. Get in! We have a driver tracker, ladies and gentlemen, in practice for the first time in Le Mans as well. That's going to be fantastic. So yes, we have a driver tracker. Get in! I'm so happy about that. That's kind of made it. The names and everything on the side of the screen, they'll pop in when the drivers start setting their lap times and the sector times as well. But this is the best seat in the house for the Le Mans 24 Hours for your data needs as well as they come into it. Hello to SHG says, hey Joshua, big week with the 24 Hours of Le Mans race this weekend. Definitely, yes, finally a driver tracker. I know, finally a driver tracker. Usually until Sunday, or Saturday, Sunday, we don't have one. So you have to use like blogs and all that lot. But finally, they've listened and finally we've got a driver tracker. Let's see, how good actually is it? Well, it's good enough. I think it'll get better once they go through the sector times and we start getting their names out. It looks all right. It'll do. I think it'll change and get their numbers on when they have completed the laps and done every sectors as well. So I like it. So yes, all the graphics on here, the drivers and the cars and that, they'll all bounce back in into the correct situation as soon as they start completing sector times and lap times, etc. So it will all bounce back after that as well. So just give it a few moments to come in. But on board with Lauren Van Holt there in the Porsche, as we look back at the garage as well. Nice to see everyone back, of course. So many other cars to come in. Alex Pallot's out there right now in the number 2 Cadillac Racing. Sebastian Bourdais on the other one as well. Mathieu Jamier is coming in. Now, I know Omi is probably watching. There is a driver that we have an interesting name of to come into it as well. That is going to be quite interesting. See if you can spot during the broadcast who we're going to be talking about if he crashes and how we have to use a friend. Well, we have to swear, but it's a bit different as well. Wow, Discovery Plus didn't last long either to come into that one as well. So drivers already coming down towards Indianapolis as well for the first time. We've also got Radio Le Mans coming into it as well. So we're not just totally on our own throughout it. So the hourly updates, all that lot sort of thing, we'll hear from them and everything. So it's going to be a very fun broadcast. And as usual, you know what you get into with JBMotorsports for a 24-hour race at Le Mans. It's basically just strap yourself in and it's going to be nonsense throughout all of it. So I'm looking forward to it. Hope you're looking forward to it as well. Let's check in, though, with Radio Le Mans, who have started their broadcast. I'll be very interested to hear what they've got to say. Track temperature, though, is at 20 degrees, 54% humidity, air temperature 16.4 degrees as well, 3.7 mile per hour wind speed as Jonas Reed has come back in the LMP2 Proton competition. He has stayed inside pit lane when everyone else has gone out on the circuit, so slightly interested there to see why they've changed over and why they haven't gone back through. Anyway, let's check in then for the first time with everyone at Radio Le Mans and see how they're doing.
We started, well, I say we started, there was a period of time when we were adding garages known as the Granny Annex, I remember in my early years of coming to Le Mans, so the late noughties. That got us to 55 cars, I think. And then we went, because there was Garage 56, which was the project, the additional one to add to the standard 55 that was in place for a good few years. Then we increased to 60 cars, and now those 2 garages were built right at Pit Inn, and it seemed like they were built for United Autosports. I wonder whether United actually submitted some plans to say this is the sort of garages we would like, ideally, please. So we're now up to 62, and what it means is, even though this is a very, very long pit lane, cars, when they're all in pit road, are absolutely nose to tail, and we're talking, probably half a metre, if that, maybe a metre, between each car. So if you're pitting and your neighbours are, you need some level of understanding.
You do, because it's going to, what goes around comes around, as they say, and if your neighbouring garage doesn't help you at all. So a little bit of understanding, but what can you do when suddenly the weather changes? I don't think it's going to change, certainly in the first hour of this 3-hour free practice session, but if it does, and suddenly everyone comes in at the same time, very, very difficult. But right now we're seeing the cars going around, starting to clear up the track, and the Ferrari is already diving under the under the Dunlop Bridge, down through the Forest S's. Track conditions look very good, but how it feels under the tyres, as Johnny pointed out, the track, or large sections of it, have been used as public road, as it is between the Le Mans test and when we get the cars out onto the track today. So maybe they can feel a bit of difference, Johnny, but visually, I can't see it. They're all looking as though they're going very comfortably around Tete Rouge and on around the track. Still a few cars in the pit lane. I think the Lamborghini was one of the ones in there, and of course a lot of them do that classic out and in. They do that exploration lap right now. Nielsen.
Radio Vern.
Okay, Jep, reminder, TCR 16 as much as you can. And we could read.
So Johnny Vern got some radio there coming through as well. Needed to be adjusted. Is this radiographic all it is? Yeah, it is. Okay, good. To come into it. Just like we're all like, the timing screen didn't come available until the last second. Hypercar classes, yes, it's just starting to. Just need gap and interval to come in and people to complete lap times. It might need some TLC, the timing screen, so do stick with us while we adjust it. In fact, looking at it, it might just need one thing in total moving around. So while it's all going to be adjusted. It's all going to be, what's that like, titivated as well to come into it. Hello, I've just seen a search button come up on the numbers there. Jump 2. Oh, that's nice. To come into it. So I'm just noticing things on timing 71 that are brand new. So as soon as everyone starts to get lap times, I believe the driver tracker names will switch back over. And then we'll adjust the timing screen, all the titivations that need to be done as well. Looking now at the Peugeot coming through the Porsche curves now as well. Just having a little bit of a exit run around out there, still keeping it quite calm. Cadillac still will be on the top of this one. Don't forget Ferrari coming into this Le Mans 24 Hours as the reigning champions. They took a 1-2 last year as well, with the 51 ahead of the 50. Stoffel Van Dorn, we're watching now the Peugeot, the 32-year-old as well, coming out of the Recudemont S's and the Ford chicane just before that across the line. We were only here a couple of weeks ago, of course, for Le Mans, for the French Grand Prix with MotoGP. So it's we're sort of stuck in a loop, aren't we? But of course, we were on the Bugatti circuit then. We are now using the full 24 hours. And yellow flag shown, Marshall point 26 and 25 as well. So a yellow flag is out. Ferrari AF Corsa have set the first lap time in this session, and that is it's a 3 minute 30.102, but that yellow flag now out at Marshall point 24.25. Someone off down at the chicane as well, the Le Mans, the Daytona chicane. I can't see something quite down there where they are, Marshall point. Stationary car. There we go. The number 30 has spun off the circuit of the De Quinn team. James Allen involved in that, so he's gone for a little spin down there at the bottom of the chicane as well. The Michelin hairpin. So back on we go, and the 36 Alpine gets into it as well. Now we're starting to get the timing screens operational as well, and they're all fine. So now becomes the titivation process that I was on about, in order to make sure everything goes okay. Because I don't know exactly why what needs to be done on the timing screens, to be fair, and what needs to be done, what doesn't need to be done. So it all becomes a little bit of play in order to see, well, what do you actually need to do? I don't actually think there needs to be that much done, to be fair. It seems like the timing screen might just be working on its own. So I'm just going to have an adjustment of it and see if I just need to drag out the names a little bit. Yeah, I don't need to do that much, actually. It's not actually a bad timing screen. Let's hand back over to the world feed for a second and introduce them as well.
As you can get, he's got plenty of experience. This is the third Ferrari in Hypercar, by the way. No, it's not red. It is being run by AF Corsa, who are part of the operation running 50 and 51, the red cars. But that is the same spec, and all these cars must be the same specification. You can't run something different as the factory. They must comply exactly to the homologation. So every one of these three Cadillacs, the red one which is Whelan's entry from IMSA, and the blue car and the yellow car must be exactly identical in every way, no matter who is running them.
This is an interesting one, isn't it? The blue number 2 Cadillac that does the whole championship. It's got the one car entered for the whole of the WEC championship. Now you've got the other two, as you mentioned, Martin, the number 3 yellow fronted Cadillac and the 311. Because we do have a number 4, so we don't have 2, 3 and 4. It's 2, 3 and 3, 1, 1. But the interesting thing with the regular, the number 2 blue Cadillac, the one we were watching at, it's got Alex Palou driving it, whereas they have been just running 2 drivers, as you can do in the remaining races of the WEC. So
in the 6-hour races, you run 2 and 6-hour races. We did have for the opening race in Qatar, Seb Bourdais, who's in the other car. 311, by the way, is a switch from its regular 31 that it carries for the IMSA WeatherTech Sports Car Championship. Coming through now, the number 93 Peugeot.
Yep, John-Eric Van showing good speed early on, so too the number 7 Toyota of Nick de Vries. Those pink highlights show that that is an outright fastest sector. There's Jay Button Esquire, outright fastest sector in the class of the entire session. So the number 7 Toyota going quickly, but Stoffel van Doorn's Peugeot is actually the fastest car at the moment.
Yeah, not a bad run around. Let's hear from Inception Racing.
Yeah, copy. Even if you sacrifice a bit of speed for now to get the line right, let's focus on getting the lines right.
Yeah, so sacrifice the time, see what you're going to get. Nick de Vries in the number 7 Toyota looking quite quick as well. 7 tenths up in this first sector, 1.4 seconds up in the middle sectors. He comes now in towards the last few corners. He's starting to get numbers on that. I'll do for now. As they come into it as well. Look at that, Toyota Gazoo for Nick de Vries. He is fastest overall. Great time then. It's a 3:26.918 for the Toyota number 7, getting straight up there with the better, decent times as well. So it's Toyota number 7 from the 36 Alpine and the 35 Alpine, 94 Peugeot, 8 Toyota Gazoo, the 38 and the 12 for the Hertz Team Jolter squad, and then the 50 Ferrari, of course, are down in 8th position, and he's had a slide coming through the Dunlop chicane at the top of the hill as well. Leader in LMP2. That goes at the moment for Proton competition as well. The number 9 car, and the leader in LMGT3 is the Heart of Racing Team, the number 27 squad, with Ian James at the wheel. And this is one of the, that's the Peugeot team, passing the number 54 Ferrari AF Corsa in the GT3 category as well. Now, just to save time, I'm not going to call them LMGT3. Let's just call them the GT3 categories. And also the LMP2. It is still LMP2, but it's more the 2 different categories, because we've got LMP2 Pro-Am category, which is being led by the DKR Engineering, but that's not being registered on the timing screens. Only 3, which is Hypercar, LMP2 and GT3. So we'll do our best to adjust those as we go. We used to be able to switch between showing you the LMP2 categories as well, but that seems to be changing as we go. But at least we've got a timing screen that is actually working for once, and a driver tracker. And also we'll have the whole team on throughout these sessions as well. Josh T's back with us for qualifying, and Megan is in a hurry to get to the commentary box as well. On board with the 70 McLaren of Inception Racing as well. So Inception leading the way in GT3 at the moment. Ferrari second. The Spirit of Racing 155 car just jumps up into 5th position as well. Iron Lynx now down to 5th as Proton go up into 4th. Porsche having some scanner issues with their number 5, with Campbell, Christensen and Madakovic as well. As, yeah, more ad breaks. That's every 5 minutes Eurosport are going to bloody ad break as well. I mean, it's a bit... I hope they don't do that in the race, because that's really cheeky. We are going to have another monitor up as well for them for later on as well, so that they don't do that all the time. Anyway, let's switch back over to Radio Le Mans.
No dramas to report up this end. It's business as usual, and I think we talked about it earlier. You know, at this point, everyone's being as cautious as possible and making the changes that they need to at this stage, from the information, of course, they got from the test day.
Diana Binks, and prior to that, Jay Bradley with our CrowdStrike Pit Lane reports. Don't forget to get involved on social media. If you're using X, then the hashtag for the whole of this week, including race days, is RLM_24H. So RLM as in Radio Le Mans _24H. Make sure you include that in your messages, and we will do our level best to give you a mention as well. Nick de Vries is now quickest in the session. Car number 7, the Toyota, and the time a 3:26.918 from the Dutchman. Although, am I seeing a different time from your screen, or you just got it at a different level? I think you have, Bruce. So I'll stick with the Dutchman. New in at Toyota, so this is a little bit of a baptism of fire for Nick, but you know, he went to Formula One. I don't think he got all the luck that he deserved necessarily there. His career came to a fairly abrupt end, but he's been taken in by Toyota, and I think, you know, he could really rise to this challenge now.
Oh, I'm a big fan of Nick de Vries, and already that time was effectively the third flying lap, and that was just 11 thousandths of a second down on the fastest time set on Sunday. So there was a debate on Midweek Motorsport about whether teams would want to go for a fast time now, almost as a banker they could throw towards qualifying, or just work towards a setup. But here and now, and I think the whole attitude at Toyota Gazoo Racing, they really fancied they'd win it last year. They didn't, and it was the one that got away. All the time they remained the World Endurance Championship. You get to the 100th anniversary and somehow they just didn't quite get the wherewithal to win it. But they're looking very solid, first and second on the charts. Minutes 3:26.918. That's 3 minutes 26 for Nick de Vries. And Ria Hirakawa in the sister car is just a fraction slower by 0.6 of a second. So they're out clear, but only by a small margin over Robin Freitz. Good to see the BMW crews coming forward. It hasn't been a real easy baptism for them in the World Endurance Championship.
Right, some changes at the sharp end of LMP2, because we have a quickest time now from actually a Pro-Am car. That's Ben Hanley, who's just done a 3:34.9, and
might have lost them at the moment. We'll wait to see if Radio Le Mans comes back to us in a second. Oh, here we go. It's always the technical difficulties at this early stage of the sessions as well, where everyone's getting used to.
Drivers down to drive the number 77, the Proton Mustang. Having Ford back at Le Mans, from our point of view, Ryan, is quite stupendous. What's it like driving the front engine car?
Yeah, I mean, I think having Ford back at Le Mans is special for everyone, and I mean, especially me being an American driver. I mean, it's why I joined this program, to have the opportunity to drive a Ford here at Le Mans. It's quite special.
And with the GT program in GTE, but to have the Mustang, I mean, when you say Ford, the name Mustang just rolls off the tongue, doesn't it? It's fantastic to have it here.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, the Mustang is a central car that's very, very important to Ford, and has been for 60 years now. And it's special to me, too. My very first car I ever owned when I was 16 years old was a Ford Mustang. And so I've always been a passionate Ford fan. And obviously watching the GT and their success from 2016 into 2021 is it's quite special. We have most of that same core group of people back from the Multimatic side, and then also combined with all of our great people here at Proton Competition, we got a good group of people working on this.
Ryan, give us an idea of the nuances of driving this front engine car around this track.
Yeah, well, it's quite different than what I'm used to, coming from a mid-engine car. But it actually, so far, my laps, I think the Mustang suits this track quite well. The front-engine car is really nice in the braking and the corners. And, yeah, I think so far I'm really happy with it here.
What's this session about for you guys?
This session, we really are working through a couple different setup things. You know, this is our first time here with this car, so we're trying a lot of different things, just trying to see what's comfortable for the drivers and what is not, to give us a direction where we want to go in the race.
Brilliant. Thanks for talking to us, Ryan. I think your car's due in any moment.
Nice to see at the moment then, as we've got got Jolter going to the top. Big work going on at the 38. Hertz Team Jolter as their compatriot car, the number 12, with Callum Ilott at the wheel, has gone fastest. So 3:26.610 at the moment as well. LMP2 now being led by the Pro-Am category of the AO by TF team. The number 14, Louis Delatraz at the wheel. He's done a 3:34.245. LMP2 overall being run by the 22 United Autosports. Oliver Jarvis at the wheel. He's got a 3:35.290, but his last lap time was a 3:33.891. So you can see how the time's being categorised at the moment. Overall, something 3:33, I believe, has been discontinued by the stewards. Yes, it has. So disallowed by the stewards for having a too fast cut in the corner at one of the chicanes. That's why he's gone ever so slightly differential over, as we're just making sure that everything is snug on our timing screens up here. I know you can hear that as well as me when the cars go slow. Eurosport having some sort of issue with their world feed commentary at the moment. We're not going to have that all the time, because on Saturday and Sunday we're going back to the actual the Eurosport commentators, which is being led by Alex Shakes. Alex Brundle will also be there as well. 20 minutes gone then, 2 hours 39 to go at the Le Mans 24 hours. Just having a look at the drive time at the moment. Got all these stats open up on our commentary monitors up here in the commentary box as well, so we can see exactly who's where and how going into it. Let's have full width, please. Thank you very much. Coming into it, I must admit it is quite fun, these timing monitors, being able to take a look at all this data. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 separate pages of information up at the moment as well on our monitors, including the world feed pictures and the commentary team as well coming into it. So at the moment, big field, 18 cars currently for the overall running order in Hypercar, but there's more coming, because then from 19 down we've also got the Solo Francetti team as well, who are down in 24th position in Hypercar. So many more entries as well to the Le Mans 24 hours, not just in LMP2 but in GT3 as well. The race that the teams only do Le Mans as well, coming into a bit like how they only do the Le Mans the Indy 500 for one of them as well. Monaco's very much closed off in that mind, isn't it? No one ever comes in to just do Monaco 24 hours. They're all sort of like very much in a keel with each other. No race control messages for a while since the yellow flag came in. The Ferrari is coming out onto the track. No, the 55 is coming down the pit lane into the pits, actually, as well. It's unusual because it's not the longest pit lane on the planet, this one. So if we have a caution, they're going to have to sort of segregate the pit stops as well, because you can't have all 62 cars coming down the pit lane. It is so tight now here at Le Mans, which is coming into it. SHT has also said Nick De Vries and the number 7 Toyota, coming in as well. Brendan Hartley not being able to drive, I understand, as well, so that's why Nick's gone in. Good old Jensen Button, number 38, Hertz Team Porsche as well at the moment, the leading the class at the moment, the 38 Hypercar for Jolter as well, down in 18th position. This is the 50 Ferrari having a little bit of an issue through the chicane. I really hate the fact that I can hear the commentators in the background. Listen.
Yes, it made for great racing.
You can hear there's a slight echo in the background, and that's the echo we're hearing. It's really frustrating because they haven't balanced the audio levels yet. As I said, it's first practice, so all the systems are being tested, and it'll be back to normal later on in the day. Taking a look then at the number 2, Cadillac Racing, Alex Lynn at the wheel as he flies through. It's 7th in class at the moment in Hypercar. Down by a 10th in Sector 1, 3/10 Sector 2, but it's amazing, around a 3.5-minute lap that we are talking. They are separated by a few tenths of a second here at Le Mans. It really has become a fast run. Now, has Alex Lynn got anything to come back from out the last corner? And goes up to 3rd place. Nice run, actually. It's a 3:26.928, a total of 3/10 off the pace of the leading 12 Hertzer Team Jolter squad as well, driven by Callum Ilott. In fact, look at it. Ilott, De Vries, Lynn, all graduates of Radio for Jean-Eric Van.
It's Jean-Eric Van.
I got too much wind from the front. It can't control the motor.
Yeah, we saw Jeb, we saw.
So Jeb's got a little bit too much as well of oversteer in that Peugeot coming into it as well. Don't forget as well, many drivers here also run the Formula E World Championship. So there's a couple, so you've got to get ready. See everyone over the Haggerty Global commentary box as well on Radio Le Mans right now that they are setting up, just making sure everything's okay there. They always do the first session from the UK base while they make sure that everything is set up right at the French base. Whereas we have to do everything the first session in the UK base, but then everything doesn't look like it's set up anyway. So you're always going like, panic, if things aren't working. Like this commentary box camera setup is in an absolute mess. In between the two sessions, I'm going to clean it up. I only had 20 minutes to clean it up when I came in, so I've got to add the second camera, fix that second camera, make the actual second Discord work, create the one Discord when it's just me, and then make sure that the 3 Discord cam works as well for when we've got the 3 commentators in over the weekend. It's absolutely insane how you've got to run this as well, and sort of splitters, because it's just a lot more interesting to come into it as well. So, LMP2 being led by the 14 Pro-Am category, Louis Delatraz as well. Then it's the 30 and the 23. Ben Hanley at the wheel there as well, running third. Into the pit lane comes one of, well, I can't see, I think it's the 82 squad. I can't quite tell from that angle. Here's the Ferrari, though, 51, who boxes and has a driver change coming into it as well. So I believe who was on board that 51 Ferrari when it came in, it was Alessandro Guidi who went in, and I believe going on board is Italian Jesus himself. I believe that is Antonio Giovinazzi who is going in. No, James Collado is going in as well. So, okay, that's who's going in then. I couldn't quite tell from his helmet at the moment if that was Giovinazzi or Collado when he came out of the garage, but now the graphics helped us out. 50 Ferrari also coming out of the circuit. 51's going back into the pit lane actually for a refuel, so back to the garage it goes. The 50 Ferrari is going out then as well. Antonio Foucault was at the wheel, but I believe he swapped over as well. Wow, it's all dramatic, isn't it, in the first few minutes? Don't jump it. There's a Hypercar coming down the pit lane for the Ferrari squad. Looks like to me one of the Alpines, and away goes the Ferrari. Runs in behind the Alpine now. This is the number 6 Porsche at the Dunlop chicane at the top of the hill. Just got a little bit of snap of oversteer and cut the chicane at the top of the Dunlop. Australia now says, hello, who's your pick this year? Oh, way too early. Way too early for that. We're 27 minutes in for the weekend. An early guess, not my final prediction. Who's going to win it? I've got a very good feeling about the Ferraris again. But, yeah, Brad says Ferrari going to win. Yeah, I've got a good feeling about the Ferraris, but never ever count out the Toyotas. They want vengeance after losing out last year as well, so they're in there too. Here's the 83 Ferrari, though, at the moment, running it in. This is... Well, I'm trying to find out where they are on the monitor, actually, as well. Where are the 83 squad? For the... oh, hello, isn't it? This is actually worrying me. I can't find... there they are. The 83 Ferrari AF Corsa. So it's not the Ferrari AF Corsa, it's the AF Corsa team.
It's the whole chicane, so if they do a track limits for that, it's a joke. And also I massively slowed down to let everyone go.
Yeah, so this is...
That was the 95 United Autosports with Marino Sato at the wheel, just getting some information as well. So, yeah, we've got the 2 Ferrari AF Corsa. This is the 50 and the 51. And then we've got the 85, which is the AF Corsa Ferrari. Yiffy Yi as well in there too, watching on back in the Ferrari garage. So the AF Corsa is... It's a downstep last year car, so it's still a hypercar. It's still in the categories, but it's not the main Ferrari team. Imagine it as a bit of Red Bull and RB, how that setup is as well coming into it. Love from mainland England. Hello, we're in England too here at the moment, where we are in the comments box as well. Nice to see you as well. Kenneth, hope you're having a wonderful time and enjoying all the data that we can provide as well. I think Eurosport have been told don't go to ad breaks every 5 minutes because we haven't had an ad break in about 10 minutes, which is great news. This is the AF Corsa team in the 83. Oh, big lock-up on the front right side coming into the Dunlop chicane, and he runs off the track. We saw the tail end of that lock-up on the TV pictures, but didn't actually see him go straight. The reason for it, why he went straight on as well. We thought he might have been getting away from another car. Didn't happen that way. Number 12 of the Hertz Team Jolter lead the squad. Let's have a look actually down from 24 down on the timing screen. There's a lot, so I'm trying my best to make sure I can't actually move it that way. So there's down. It's so big, the timing screen here. It's on 3 pages. That's how big 62 cars is. So for a little bit as well, just so that everyone gets a run in, there's positions 24 down to 45, and I'll adjust it to the last timing page in a few minutes' time as well. But yeah, I kind of need to set it. It's too big. We need, like, honestly, to get the timing screen sorted like that, you need about a 50-inch monitor to keep all the timing pages on, which is what Radio Le Mans have done. They've gone the opposite way of me, really, whereas I have got the TV pictures on my big screen in front of me here so I can commentate and stay as normal. They've reversed that. They've put the timing screen on the big monitor so they can see where everybody is, and then they've put the little monitors, like the 20-inch monitors, you know, that you have in bedrooms and hotel rooms and all that. They've got 6 of them, and they've got the timing pages as well, driver trackers, information screens from race control, and they've also then got the data from the TV pictures on another one of those screens. So it all just ranges around. However, let's head back over to Radio Le Mans while Eurosport go to a break.
One of these Hertz hourly updates, and I can tell you that Callum Eilert has just rejoined the session in the number 12 Porsche 963. So that's one of a couple of gold-coloured cars, and his time of 3:26.610 puts him fastest by 0.3 of a second from Nick de Vries's Toyota GR010 Hybrids. The 7 car, therefore, that Nick drives is second fastest from the number 2 Cadillac of Alex Lynn, which is parked in the pit lane at the moment, but the Cadillac V-Series R for the Brit had managed a 3:26.928 before he came into pit lane. 4th fastest and 5th fastest, they're both Alpines for Mathieu Vaxivière and Charles Milesi in 36 and 35 respectively. It's a 3:27.4 for both. Then Robert Kubica in the number 83 AF Corsa Ferrari. That's the principally yellow car with the red flashes on it rather than the 2 almost factory cars. They're all run by AF Corsa, but 83 is slightly more satellite than the 50 and the 51. 3:27.513 has just been posted by the Polish driver. After that off-track moment, though, did that include the shortcut at the Dunlop chicane? If so, I'm sure that lap will be deleted. Ryo Hirakawa in the second of the Toyotas, car number 8, is 7th fastest, and then René Rast in the BMW number 20 with the M Hybrid V8 making its debut at the 24 Hours of Le Mans this year. Another Cadillac, the 3 car of Sebastian Bourdais, 9th fastest, ahead of Laurens Vanthoor in the Porsche Penske Motorsport car number 6. So that is the best so far of the factory Porsches. LMP2, fastest cars, 3 of them are all Pro-Ams to this point, but with their pro drivers. Louis Delatraz in the 14 is in the pits, but he's done a 3:34.245, quicker than Jean-Baptiste Simonin for Duquesne in number 30, and the United Autosports USA entry for Ben Hanley, 3rd quickest, number 23. Then the quickest of the standard LMP2 driver lineups, that's Jonas Reed, Christian Reed's son. Christian, remember, retiring at the end of 2023, but Jonas will continue with the family name, and car number 9 for Proton competition is the quickest of LMP2 and 4th fastest within that whole category. And then ahead of Nolan Siegel, who we missed during test day. He was busy in an IndyCar race at the weekend, but is now getting some laps in car 22 for United Autosports. In LMGT3, Inception Racing's Brendan Iribe in the McLaren that he drives for car 70. There are 3 McLarens, remember, due to be in the race, and that's the fastest so far with a 3:58.770. 0.288 of a second faster than Daniel Mancinelli's Aston Martin Vantage of Heart of Racing team, number 27. GR Racing's Daniel Serra in his Ferrari. That's a car change year on year. They used to race Porsche's GR Racing, but Ferrari 296 now for Mike Wainwright's team. Car 86, third fastest. Ahead of Ben Barker's Proton Competition Ford Mustang, number 77. The 66 JMW Motorsport Ferrari for Giacomo Petrobelli. And Kelvin van der Linde in the 78 Acodis ASP team. Lexus, sixth fastest in LM GT3.
Hourly updates brought to you by Hertz. Getting you to your...
That was well timed, wasn't it, to go over there for an hourly update?
91.2 F.
That's very well done as the teams come back in as well.
Around the world, of course, via the radio show limited website. It's Bruce Jones, Johnny Palmer and Paul Truswell in the Ford Performance Studios. I tried to bring Paul in a couple of moments ago, but then we had some more CrowdStrike pit and paddock reports. So, Paul, it's sort of a stale point now, but the good news is everybody has been out to taste this session.
Yes, they have. And,
yellow flag, double yellow, marshal
surprising.
point. Yellow flag, double marshal point 32. We've got a yellow flag out at the moment. So that is once again down just after the chicane, right at the bottom of the track as well, where we see all the dots coming to now. So what's going on down there? Well, we're going to need an interruption for as well. And Ryan, oh hello, this is 37 coming in as well.
Without the supply chain, without the supplementary stuff, it's not just a sport, it's a fantastic sport. What an industry it is.
So work going on, as you can see, for the Cool Racing Orica. That's the Lorenzo Flaxer, Malte Jakobsen, Ritomo Miata car.
Flag.
We are, with 2 hours and 24 minutes still to run of this first free practice session, which, Peter, really for drivers, for teams, they'll all have their own programme to work through. Whether it's chasing a time at this point is rather unlikely, but it might be scrubbing in tyres, it might be learning the circuit, it might be working on error. Everybody will have a to-do list.
Absolutely. I think as the sport becomes more and more professional, you know, the amount of teams now that are, you know, you look down the paddock and every single team is super professional. Gone are the days, you know, 20 years ago when you had almost like a grassroots team coming up into it. And, you know, Rob and I were talking about that before, how you almost got cars arriving in the back of trailers, but nowadays it just doesn't happen. And they're all so professional. They're running through their programs. Each driver will get in, try and get them comfortable, make sure by the time race starts on Saturday that every single driver is very comfortable in the car. And as you say, lap time's not so important right now.
Let's welcome Rob Bell to the booth as well, having touched on...
Head for this CrowdStrike pit lane report. And Joe.
And another mind-blowing bit of statistics, really, guys. So the 23, the United Autosports Orica, is being driven by Mr. Ben Keating, who I would have lost money on. Ben Keating, I would have said, it's got to be Ben's, third? No, this is your 10th. Unbelievable, the way time flies.
Yeah, 10 in a row. It's kind of special to have a whole decade of running at Le Mans. And, you know, in 9 different cars through the years. I've driven almost everything now. And, you know, there are lots of things that make this special. It's my first time to be back in the LMP2 in 7 years. And I've won the last 2 in the GT class. So it's kind of fun to be back in an LMP2, and it's kind of fun to try to go for 3 in a row.
I mean, it's the sort of thing, 3 in a row in 2 different classes, Ben. Is that something that you can put at the forefront of your mind at a race such as this?
I mean, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't thinking about it. But I also think it's ridiculous for anyone to think that they are a favorite to win this race. There's so many cars out there. There's so many things that can happen that are out of your control. I view every single car in the race as a long shot. So as long as we take care of the car and we don't have any penalties and the car holds together, I think we have a good shot of being there at the end, but that's a tall order.
Yeah, I mean, Ben, you know what it takes to win this race. It must have been quite a satisfying statistic for you to be the last ever winner in the GTE class, though. Those GTE cars were special.
Yeah, it was really special for a lot of reasons. It was the last year for GTE ever. It was the 100th centenary race. It was, I won in a car that I sell. in the United States, and it'd been a long time since Corvette had won. And so to win as an American driver, to win an American car with an American team, listening to the Star Spangled Banner under the American flag on the podium, it was all crazy special.
That is very special, Ben. Also special was those two guys that you won the GTE class with, who you're now having to race against. I mean, Nicky Katzberg, Nico Veroni, what a superstar find he was. I mean, now you've got a big...
Yeah, we are still very close, and we're having a lot of fun with this. I'm excited that we're all in the same class on 3 different teams. You know, I keep telling them we're going to find out why we won last year. You know, out of what happens with the 3 of our cars.
So you know their weaknesses. Do they have any weaknesses?
You know, those are my secrets to hold.
Ben, enough of the reflection. The future is all about this one. You're in the United Autosports team. You've got a team that also knows how to win this race. So give us just a little bit of insight. What does it take to win this race?
Yeah, I mean, for me, winning the race is all about just not having problems, not having penalties, not having mechanicals, keeping the car on track, not getting up in the gravel, not being involved in an incident, which a lot of that is out of our control. But that's what it takes to win this race. But, for me personally, it's a unique challenge. You know, I've been racing the Orica LMP2 in IMSA for the last 4 years, but I feel like every time I come to this track, it's brand new for me, even though this is my 10th time, because every time I show up on the test day in a new car, I feel so slow, and I feel like I should have learned it by now. And at the test session on Sunday, I was 8 seconds slower than both of my pros, and it's just hard for me to fathom. 8 seconds is an eternity in racing. And my goal today is to cut that in half. So, I'm taking little baby steps and trying to get a little bit more courage through these high-speed corners in this car that's capable of a lot more than I am.
Is the car radically different to the car that you drive in LMP2 and IMSA?
Yes, this is the first time I will have run on the Goodyear tire, which feels a little different than the Michelin does in IMSA. And I've never run a car with this little downforce. They have every bit of downforce taken off the car, and so from that standpoint, it almost drives similar to a GT, but it's still capable of a lot more than a GT is in the high-speed stuff. I just have to get my mind calibrated to what it's capable of doing.
I'm sure you will, Ben. You always do. Thanks, Ben Keating.
And that's nice to hear from Ben there as well. Alongside me now in the commentary box, who scared me half to death a few minutes ago, but then dragged me inside because Richie Sunak is at our old school.
Yes.
They would not have let us near the Prime Minister at all. They would not. Hello, Megan. How are you?
Hi.
Welcome back to Le Mans.
Hi.
24 hours once again. And you're all going to be here for a lot more of it. You looking forward to it?
No.
No, not supposed. They would not have let us know the Prime Minister, would they?
No, they wouldn't.
On a scale of 1 to 10, especially the current head teacher.
Fear would have been high.
Yeah, they would not have let us know the Prime Minister. We asked too many good questions as journalists.
Yes.
Anyway,
we're not on his side.
No, we're not. Anyway, what do you think, though, back at Le Mans? Sorry, go on,
quick.
about Rishi.
No. Guess what was a year today?
12th of June last year, I don't know.
My last day at college.
Oh, was it really?
Yeah. I got that Yoda Best mug. It's a mug with Yoda on it saying Yoda Best. You also made me a milkshake.
I did. I'm not doing that again, though. We're busy.
But it was delicious.
We've got 2 hours, 16 minutes left in this commentary box. It's a pit stop compared to what Saturday, Sunday is going to be.
This will be entertainment. Number 7 is just pits. By the way, is
De Vries up to second.
Hartley.
No.
This one. Oh.
Maybe I'm going to double check because I think he's broken something and he can't race.
He's evading me. He's gone as far as breaking something just to get away.
Let's have a look quickly at the news as well. He's going to be here. The number 16 squad. Sorry, he is going to be here apparently in the Toyota.
Huh.
Am I right in this? It's just not working.
How intriguing.
Hartley is in, isn't he? He hasn't been backed out because of a break, is he? I got told he won't be racing.
I guess we shall see.
We'll see. If he turns up in one of these sessions. Should be in one of the 2 Toyotas, though, to be fair. Well,
Usually
there's
number 7,
Lopez, Kobayashi, and De Vries. So it's the number 8 Toyota we need to be looking to, which is Rio Hariyama. It has Rio Hakiyama at the wheel at the moment. Always twitch with that one when we get to it as well. Just changeover going on down there at the number 7 Toyota as well. Getting in the car is... Can't tell. It's going to be between Calamaro and there too. The one thing I hate... We know that man is, though, Jenson Button in the 38 squad at the moment for Hertha Team Jolta. 20th in the running order at the moment because they've got a problem. They've had numerous work over the last 45 minutes and it seems to be getting better as well. We'll be back in a minute. Kubica is in. Yeah, and it's also Kubica down there as well at the top of the screen. Let's go down to the last entry, shall we, at the bottom of the screen while we hand back over to Radio Lamar because we've got nothing else to do.
Third position overall, just 10 thousandths down on that number 7 Toyota. So tightening up at the top. Right now, Hertz Team Jota, they can have a smile on their face.
Too right, as Jenson Button leans forward in his stool towards the back of the garage or behind the engineers that are calling the shots. Just for a quick word in the ear.
Is 12 car at a 28.2. Ours is, I'm sorry, 26.2. Ours is 28.2. Our best sector is Porsche curves, 3/10 off. Lots of mediocre sectors the rest of the way.
Jack Aitken in the 311 getting some useful information there from his engineer. So remember, 3 caddies in this year's race. We have the blue fronted number 2 that if you follow the FIA World Endurance Championship you will be well used to. The 3 car which did actually guest as a Spa runner last year, and Renger van der Zande spectacularly retired from that race when something gave way going into Eau Rouge Radion and spat him off to the left and heavily into the barrier. And of course the 3rd car is the 311, which is the Wayland Cadillac machine that Jack Aitken actually had a huge moment on the first lap of last year's race when he caught a bit of a damp patch coming out of the 2nd chicane on the Mulsanne, and then he ended up in the barrier on the left, and that's Armco. So did a lot of damage to the car. He nursed it home again, and Jack Aitken receiving the messages as to where the 311 Cadillac is quicker and slower than its major opponents. Certainly Cadillac coming again here on the back foot because of Earl Bamber's big crash in the Ardennes in the previous World Endurance Championship round. That was again a 6-hour race, and Bamber misjudging an overtake and hadn't actually cleared one of the BMWs on the Kemmel Straight, and it launched the number 2 car up into the air and collided with the concrete blocks to his right very severely indeed. That chassis was a write-off, and Cadillac having to find an alternative. 77 Mustang is in for a driver change. This is one of the 3 cars then run by Proton Competition in the LM GT3 category, as we can head back to Joe Bradley for another CrowdStrike pit lane report.
Yeah, this is a bit of a geeky engineering one for all of our race car engineering fans out there. So the number 4 Porsche Penske car, it's in the garage, it's up on the low jacks, and it's having a front damper swap out. They've basically swapped the front dampers. Now you access the dampers from a little panel that detaches from just in front of the windscreen, and the mechanic has to get his hands in there, and it's quite tight confines where the dampers are housed. When he loosens the damper off, the whole damper unit comes out, but then when they put in another set of dampers, he needs his teammates to lift the wheel, and so connecting the suspension and lining up the holes that bolts the damper in there. And it was just a bit of insight there as to what's going on in this practice session, where the team will be running through some different damper settings and changing and swapping the dampers out. They'll then go to the back of the pit garage and have the damper engineers looking into that and maybe swapping the settings on that for another try later on. But they are running through what I used to call a jobs list of things we want to try, things we want to just sort of experiment with, just to get these cars handling and optimizing them for qualifying. That comes later on tonight, and then of course we've got the Hypercar session coming tomorrow. So lots of activity down here in the pits.
You make a very good point there, though, Joe, because this is the only practice session that everybody gets before qualifying. Yes, there's lots of free practice in total, but if you don't make it into the top 8 in Hyperpole between the hours of 7 and 8 o'clock this evening, then free practice in terms of qualifying for the race is too late. You know, it's all done and dusted, and then you have to swallow your grid position. So there's an awful lot of stuff that has to be looked after within this session. And certainly not part of the plan is for the 65 Panis racing car to be off the road and in the gravel track, and that feels like it's early on in the lap, not far from the Bugatti circuit. In fact, it's at the first left-hander, isn't it? So right-hand, long lingering Dunlop curve, and then it's, I think, Rodrigo Salas has fallen off the driver's left and scooted into the... No, in fact, was there some contact a moment or two ago with the 77 Ford Mustang? This car has only just rejoined, and I reckon Salas has this moment all on his own. He certainly does. Just a little bit too much right foot, that crucial change of direction between turns 2 and 3, and the car rotates on him and straight towards the gravel track.
Well, we just heard from Ryan Hardwick having a chat in the pit lane. Well, he saw plenty of that. It was right across his bows. I mean, probably only about a couple of feet between the nose of that pale blue Mustang and the starting to go sideways. Oh, definitely have gone sideways tail of the Oreca. So for Panis Racing, that we were just talking about how we're building up towards qualifying.
Right, so there is a yellow out on the track right now. Joshua's just gone in to get something. Who is that? That's gone out of the track. That is the number 4 car. No, is it? I don't know. Oh, it's a 65. Got confirmation there. The 65 has spun out of the track. There's now a yellow out of the slow zone. 2 hours and 9 minutes to go. The 65. Let's see if we can find that other thing. I don't believe we can. Hold on. Just going to let Joshua know. Right. So currently there is a yellow out on the track. He seems to have spun onto the gravel. Loads of people heading in now, probably to get a quick tyre change now that there is a yellow out. I'll leave you back in the capable hands of the other team.
Of this great race 12 months ago. Well, will it be a Ferrari win again in 2024? If it is to be a Ferrari win, it will be their first of their FIA World Endurance Championship campaign. But as James Collado and his teammates said, well, we hadn't won a race this time last year either, and it was the only race they would win in 2023, it turns out. Diana Biggs, now hot and ready to go with our CrowdStrike pit lane report.
Thank you very much. I'm in the TF Sport Garage. The number 14, Lewis Delatraz, has just jumped out after being out there on the circuit. First of all, Lewis, good to see you. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm great. It's super good to be here. We all love Le Mans, so to be back at this event is incredible. I'm super happy, and so far so good. So yeah, all good.
What was the objective when you were out there on track? Are you just looking to fine-tune ahead of qualifying?
I mean, I have two teammates who doesn't have much experience here in LMP2. Alex first Le Mans, so big one for him, and PJ first time in LMP2 after his first one last year in the GTE. And I mean, you know, on Sunday we shared driving time, trying to all get familiarized with the track. And today we're looking a bit more for performance. But again, what I care about is a race car that is fast. In the end, quali is fun, but we want to win the race.
How much advice and sort of coaching are you giving the guys for Le Mans?
I think it's about sharing experience as we can. The best is the more laps they will do, the more they will learn. But I'm lucky, you know, PJ is super fast. He gets comfortable quick, and Alex has never been here, but in his second lap he was already quick. So I think I'm very well surrounded. AO and TF are doing a great job to get us up to pace, and I mean, so far I'm really enjoying the week.
How would you describe the challenges you face as a driver during this event?
It's crazy. I mean, it's a 24-hour sprint now in the LMP2. The level is so high, you just have to push the whole time. The cars are so reliable as well. We have to look after the car. We have to look after the weather. Make no mistakes. And I think if we run smooth for 24 hours, we'll be up there at the front towards the end.
A big grid this year, very close in the pit lane here. It's going to be hectic at times.
Definitely, if everyone pits on their safety car, I think there will be a lot of cars in the pits. But it's great. I mean, we will all get packed up after. There is no more 3 safety car restart, which I think is good for the sport. And
5.
Yeah,
4,
absolutely. And
3.
Again, being on this side of the fence for the first time, it's quite an insight.
Diana Binks providing that CrowdStrike pit lane reports. We are under 30 seconds to go for the slow zone.
You know, if I was starting my time again, I'd probably pay more attention to that side just because you understand.
Right, let's go back in now. So, slow zone removed, as Megan told you the reason why. So we're back under green flag conditions here, which is fantastic news. There we go. So 2 hours to go here. The first practice session for the Le Mans 24 hours. We need better cheers. I know you've got the best one, but I need this one.
Well, I can try and balance on that one for a bit if you want.
Nah, I just need a better. I need one of those other chairs. Valentino Rossi, everybody as well. It's weird to see the stats here saying no wins, only 1 podium, best result was 2nd, best championship was up 4th, participation's 3. But
I bet it feels weird for him to be on 4 wheels.
Yeah, he's a world champion, 7-time world champion in MotoGP, 9-time world champion overall. And back in, of course, since he retired from 2 wheels, he runs his own team, of course, in MotoGP, the VR46 squad, and he's come racing here for Team WRT in the Endurance Championship, but also he races the international GTs and everything. He's just a bit. He's done British GTs once as well. Brands Hatch and Dorrington Park. Valet just does everything, doesn't he?
He does. I think he just likes to dip his toes in every bit of water.
Well, he's a very quick driver. Do you know Valentino Rossi almost made a switch over to Formula 1 in 2004? Had a couple of seasons in.
I mean, he could do that now.
He's too old now to do it. But
how old is he?
46 now? 47, something like that. He's a very old boy, is our Valentino Rossi. But honestly, for Rossi, in 2004, he tested for Ferrari in an F1 car and was...
So let's count that in.
He was as quick as Michael Schumacher.
Oh, geez, he would have dominated.
He was going to make the switch, but then he stayed in MotoGP. As he should have done, really,
Good
as
thing.
well. Yeah, because it got him a couple more championships. Alex Lynn there for Cadillac Racing, watching on. As the Cadillac just gets some data. First practice session here. It's never, ever about the lap times. It's all about making sure that the car's okay. But it's a disadvantage because it used to be practice 1, 2, then we go into qualifying. Now, it's 3 hours of practice 1, bang, you're straight into qualifying. But of course, qualifying is qualifying practice because you've then got the positions where you go in for Hyperpole, which is the top 6 of each class, progress through 30 cars in total. They head out on the track for 30 minutes and fastest time wins. So it's a difficult situation to go in. Here's Martin Haven walking down the pit lane as well, with a camera instead.
Oh, there's a driver change, I think, going on.
Can't see who that's for, though.
No.
Ritomi Mangiata might be in there too.
Oiling up some equipment there.
That's on the Porsche as well. Here's the number 11.
Oh, that must have been what the driver change was for.
Yeah, coming in there. So into the pit lane comes the number 11 Hypercar for the Assoluta Frontini team with Jean-Paul Vernet at the wheel. Going to take us a while to get all the names into it. There's 62 different cars and 183 drivers that we've got to get used to. And I guarantee you there's going to be a team and a driver that we don't talk about for the entire race weekend. Because that's how it goes at Le Mans. You never get around. Even though it's a 24-hour race, you never really get around to do everybody. So I might try, actually.
Just like tick off every single...
Yeah, like done that, done that, done that.
Say, okay, I've talked about them.
Yeah. 24 hours, though, locked in this commentary box is going to be hell. Because it's driving me mad, this box at the moment. It really is, because it looks dark to me.
It does always feel quite dark. When it's daytime, you best have, like, the door open.
Well, yeah, I would have that right now, but it's very cold outside at the moment.
I'll check for this Sunday.
But I tell you what, though, we used to have a lot of light in this commentary box, but we had to soundproof because people were mean. So there's now no light in this commentary box. So you just feel like you're in a dungeon the entire time, really. It's not the best.
Okay. So, what time does it start on Sunday?
Oh, 3-minute stop-go penalty. Not respecting the RD penalty. So who's that for? That's come up as well. Cars 2, 14, 24, 25, 45, 50, 51, 65 and 88 all have a 3-minute stop-and-go penalty for not respecting the race director penalty. So that's because they were all in the fast lane at the start of the session an hour ago before they were allowed to be. So they've all got a penalty for it. Cars 82 reported with no headlights.
Yep.
That must be on their slowdown lap time as well, coming in there.
It'll be 18 degrees when the race starts.
Candelaria.
In the pit lane, and we've touched on Lamborghini Hypercar already. Let's go back to it and see where the best of those is. Not actually at the moment. Or
There we go. My microphone wouldn't work. So, the number 19 car Team Radio came off, the Iron Lynx. Nothing came on for it at the moment. Where are the Iron Dames in the order? That's what I want to see. Where are they? Let's have a look through our timing screen, shall we? Jolter, radio, now.
Copy that, box is flat.
I'm following the Ferrari, but I don't know if it's oil or water or whatever. But the windshield is absolutely doing nothing.
okay. Yes.
Yeah, go on, mate.
I could not really make that out as much.
No, I can't. The radio still needs work, doesn't it? So...
Yeah, and the funny thing is, it's still going. The radio is just still going on, and it was getting talked over.
Yeah, that's not the best, is it?
People in motorsport used to be really good at not talking over radio, so now it seems like no one respects the radio.
Can't see the Iron Dames. There they are. 58th or Sarah Bovey at the wheel. So they're 58th down the timing screen. I had to try and look to see where they were on the board.
I've got a book coming.
What have you ordered? Oh, you ordered it?
Yes. In the green colour. I was going to order it in the colour brown because it was a really nice colour, like it was like leathery.
Yeah.
But it was £15. I was like, the other is $9.99. So there was also this blue one, but I'm not going to get it yet. I'm not going to get it yet.
I've got a nice blue one. I haven't used it yet. I don't know what to use it for.
It was very Bridgerton.
So, class leaders at the moment in Hypercar, the number 1 at the moment in Hypercar, that is the number 12. Hertz Team Jolter Squad with Callum Mile at the wheel. LMGT3 being led by the number 70 Inception Racing McLaren 720S with Ollie Milroy at the wheel. And the LMP2 being run now by the 14 AO by TF as well with Alex Quinn at the wheel. Megan.
He was getting aggravated.
That's the number 19 Iron Lynx. Is the car stalled?
Not this one. The other one. Oh, wait, no, it is this one.
It is the 19. Yeah, look, it's like the car stalled and he doesn't know what to do. Alright, so they're just talking in the pit lane right now. So as the 19 comes down pit road, desperately trying to see where they are at the moment.
What's happening?
It's in Hypercar at the moment as well, in the pit lane. So it's the Alessandro Calderali at the wheel. We heard that, and this is down the back straight. Oh, the wiper fluid stayed on.
If anything, it made it more dirty.
Yeah, so the screens got dirty.
Oh, I know what he was saying now. He was saying, I can't see anything.
Yeah, now we just get it. Paul says, hello, folks. Are you doing the whole 24 hours commentating? Yep, as always. What's this now? 2016, so 9th year for me. Well, 8th year actually coming in for me.
You need coffee, you need crisps, you need chocolate.
We have a box and also green the air fryer in this shirt.
Ooh.
Well, it's easy to take the chips. It's easier to
You
bring
can
the
have
chips.
chips.
Yeah. Goujons, things like that.
You're going to have sandwiches.
Do we?
You should make sandwiches.
Oh, for 24 hours, they go bad.
No, for like the beginning bit.
Oh, right.
So like ham, cheese, not egg.
No.
Ham,
no sandwiches. No sandwiches.
What do you have against sandwiches?
Look, for a 24-hour broadcast, you get 1 litre of either Dr. Pepper or Pepsi in the cans. You get the cans. And then you get some tea and coffee in, and you get those little milks that you can just pour in, or a long life milk that you can keep out. You get the coffee. Coffee's going to be a lot this year. So you get the coffee pods. Don't think Mum knows I'm taking it in yet. I did say to her.
One.
Yeah, but mine now. I've got a lot of coffee to come through. But no, tea machine as well, air fryer, and all these things like the Pringles and the crisp packets and the Jammy Dodgers, the Bourbons, all that lot, all the biscuits, all that lot, all going through. Oh.
And then you're going to have things brought into you that is cooked, I would suggest.
Probably somewhere along the line as well, probably like a curry or something. But yeah, we are doing the whole 24 hours. The
Noodles?
whole team's yeah. The whole team is going to be here as well for it all. Hello, Adam. I'll supply the coffee. Count on me. Yes, Adam's got a great coffee as well over there as well. So yeah, the whole team will be here for the 24 hours of Mons as well, plus some guests that will be joining throughout it. But right now, we've on a commercial break from the team on the World Feed, so we'll hand back to Radio Le Mans.
Because ultimately the hybrid does not work, or if the ICE doesn't work, the hybrid doesn't work, and vice versa, whereas at least there is some way of getting an LMH car back to the pits, even if you've just got a bit of rear drive, maybe even on the hybrid as well, but there's less wriggle room in an LMDH car.
It's a little like performing without a safety net, so you hope you never have to use it. The number 19 Lamborghini, we saw it actually push back into the pit garage, so maybe it's just because they want to work on the car a bit more, but certainly we saw the problem with the windscreen. Track continues to be really quite slippery, and in the first hour we've seen, Johnny, quite a few cars going for rides across the curbs. It seems to be settling down now. A lot of those were actually quite early in the session, but the biggest moment so far, of course, was Rodrigo Sales beaching the Panis Orica up at the Dunlop chicane. But again, it was a chance for the officials to practice using a slow zone. And I guess if you're off on the left-hand side of the circuit, driver's left, when you go up the hill, at least everybody can see you as they come around the first corner, and in terms of just knowing what's where. But for the race officials, it's a chance to rule the roost and get it right.
In these 2 laps, we can remove the lift and coast. So you can remove the toggle, and we will be able to do 2 laps without the lift and coast.
That is advice to James Collado in the number 51 Ferrari 499P. And yeah, Cool Racing's number 47 car going across the curbing at the Ford chicane. And a certainly less than conventional line from Naveen Rao, who is the bronze in that LMP2 Pro-Am entry. Naveen, the 49-year-old from San Diego, California, joining Swiss team Cool Racing for this year. And we were hearing not a few moments ago from Malte Jakobsen, who's in the sister car, the standard LMP2 lineup, with Mallorcan Lorenzo Fluxer now at the wheel of car number 37. It's the Ford Performance Studios for 91.2 FM Radio Le Mans this year, and joining me in those studios, me, Johnny Palmer, is Bruce Jones and Paul Truswell, who we've not heard from for a little while now. There's certainly concern about the 63 Lamborghini and its length of time in the pits up until this point, and also you pointed out to me that one of the BMWs has been in pit road for rather a long time.
Yes, Johnny, that's right. The number 20 BMW is back out now with, I think, Robin Fry's back at the wheel of it now, but that was in for a 15-minute pit stop, which suggests a little bit more than just a tyre change or something, so maybe something more significant being changed on that car. I just wanted to pick up on your points about this being the final qualifying session, or the only, not qualifying session, but the pre-practice session before the qualifying. And I think it depends really on whether or how you feel you are positioned in the overall pecking order. You know, do you regard yourself as being one of the cars that should be in the top 8, or are you definitely in the kind of beyond the top 12 or so, or if you're just in that window? Because if you are in that window of being around the top 8, then it would be quite nice to set a very good time. So, you know, you do want to use this session to the maximum. And talking of using the session to the maximum, we've got
here we go.
10 cars. How many ones?
Yeah, cars coming on and changing it around as they fly on. Yeah, so back on. Alex Palou in the Cadillac back into the pit lane, then running third in class overall, and overall as well, actually, in Hypercar. As they'll fly it through. So, we've been green flagged for an hour, 8 minutes. Haven't had a red flag. We had a slow zone, but it's been remarkably calm, isn't it? One thing I'm looking forward to already is Saturday, when we won't have this annoying in the background from the world feed echo, because they can't seem to manage it right.
No.
Now, they are someone who needs to change their microphones as well. But I just have to point out, the one good thing about commentating at Le Mans is that you never feel like you're missing any of the action from being there. Because I like to say that nobody in any of the commentary boxes at Le Mans actually have a view of the track. They're all in the porter cabin.
That is unfortunate.
They all only have the same pictures as me and you at home, which is this world feed picture that we're seeing now. So that's it. Everything else comes from the driver tracker that we've got and the team viewer that we've got. But, Megan, I'm trying to think actually, how easy would it be to add another monitor? Because we're going to need it, I feel.
Impossible.
Yeah, we've kind of run out of space, haven't we?
Yes.
To come into it as we fly around. So, leaders in LMP2, as I said, is the 14 AO by TF, which is going to be really easy to say at 2 a.m. in the morning the next night as well, but they're just changing the fluid brakes at the moment on the number 17. There is James Collado back in the... No, that's Nicholas Nielsen. Same helmet as James Collado, both driving for Ferrari. That's going to make it simple, isn't it?
Oh, they love to help people, don't they?
Oh, Ferrari are just being a pain in the backside throughout all of this as well. It's all right, we've got a driver called... Are you ready for this? And I promise I'm not swearing, because it's actually his name. This is going to be fun. Are you ready for this? We have an actual driver in this field. I'm trying to find out where it's called. Yeah, there you go. There's a driver called... Yeah, the B word. B swear word. But he's
First
French.
name or last?
Last name. He's French.
So you have to consider changing it?
Yeah, but do you know how we've got to pronounce it? Bass. Yeah, but his last name is Tard. So, it's kind of tricky when you've got... You can't... But it's his last name, but it's counting as... It's not swearing, but it's really annoying because it's his last name. But you can't say it like you would with one S. So if you... But it's spelt B-A-S-T-A-R-D. But it's pronounced with an accent of two S's. But it's still swearing. Yeah. If he starts the race, I'm screwed. Because especially if he gets pole position. I know. Ben Keating at the moment is back up the track in the United Autosports USA squad in the LMP2 Pro-Am category, as we see at the moment a few offs. But yeah, that is actually Ben Keating going wrong at the chicane, coming into it as well. We'll see. Hello, everybody. Watching on. Oh, Adam says, take on the calendar Formula E, sad no Portland or Mazzano. Mazzano was never going to come back, and Portland not being there, that is a shame. I really liked Portland to come into it as well, but it's a good calendar. I like the fact that we actually start in 2024 for once as well, so we get Sao Paulo in December. Christmas in December? Was it? No. No, wow.
That is a Christmas song.
No. It's not. It's a line
Take it
from
back.
The Simpsons.
I know, but still, it counts.
No, it doesn't.
Take it back and say sorry.
I take it back and sorry, but it does not bloody count as a Christmas song.
It counts.
In that case, then, how many times have you been singing the Flanders song over the years?
What Flanders song?
F-A-R. His name is Ned.
Take it back and say so.
No, because you sing it all the time.
I don't.
Everybody in the USA.
I don't sing that.
Hates their stupid neighbour. It's the Flanders. No, because that's not a Christmas song. It's not a Christmas song. The Flanders song is not a Christmas song. It's not a Christmas song. Oh, look, there they are. Look, there is Andre Lotter watching on as well. Still driving, of course. Not in Formula E anymore, but he's still there watching on. There's James Collado on board now with the 51, running 13th in the Hypercar category and overall, actually, as well, behind Jensen. Not Button, but the other Jensen in the wheel as well. Trying to find out where that is, of course, Mikkel Jensen, wearing in the Peugeot Total Energies team as well. Still Jolter's top, which is surprising me in this early session as well, with Callum Myler on a full running yellow flag, marshal point 30. That's down at the bottom of the hill now again. So what's happened down there that we haven't seen on the monitor? Double yellow at marshal point 30 now. So
is it a pile-up?
Collado says 3.4 on a run. No, it doesn't look like anyone's down there, that part of the circuit. So unless someone's... Yeah. Problem is, we haven't got any cameras down there as the 51 Ferrari gets a snap of oversteer coming into the Dunlop chicane over the hill and down to La Chapelle. Now, let's take a look. This is on board with the LMP2 squad. This is down in towards Indianapolis. No, it's into the Porsche curves. He's gone straight on. Ooh. That's further on. Has he hit the barrier? And no, but he's got stuck in the gravel. Prepare for slow zone at slow zone 8 in 30 seconds time. So next slow zone, marshal point 29 and marshal point 30. So we're going to a slow zone situation now. And it's out now. And there it is, Megan. You can see it's the 23. Ooh. That's gone straight on into the barrier. Slow zone's been brought out. Race director.
To activate slow zone 8.
So again, Eduardo Freitas' voice in the background.
I love this camera from Race Control. I want it 24/7. So slow zone is out. So we're in this effect now where we go slow. So who is it that's gone off in the 23? That's what I'm trying to find out on the monitor. It's an LMP2. Got to really scroll down the order now to try and find out where they are.
Onto the gravel at slow zone 8 on driver's left.
He's very experienced.
So it's the United Autosport USA team, and it is Ben Keating, Megan.
Please ask your driver once he's on the service roads to zigzag and brake as much as he can to get rid of all the stones before he enters the track. Please ask your driver to leave all the gravel as much as possible outside of the track.
So Ben Keating has yeeted it into the gravel trap and has brought out the yellow flag, the 52-year-old with 7 wins here in the World Endurance Championship as well. Won the championship in LMP2 and, of course, started on pole position last year. Let's head back over to the world feed then while we've got this zone out.
The track. Please ask your...
Last time I did the championship, 2012, he was the race director, and he's done every year since.
Yeah,
so he really knows what he's talking about, what he's thinking, and he's got his processes in place, and this is just one of them. It makes sense to try and get rid of those stones from that car before it gets back on the circuit.
Yeah, and there's nothing worse than, as a driver, you come to a corner and turn in and it's just covered in gravel because the guy in front's been online.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. So you're absolutely
really
on the limit, and then you arrive and you've got stones all over the track. So it's you that's possibly going to have the off.
Maxime, so you have full fuel, you are on the double stint tires, you go only 1 lap, no curbs, and only karting inside curb on this lap, and you box straight away. So out in, only karting, curb inside.
Maxime Martin being given fairly specific instructions there, Peter. 1 lap, in, out, only 1 set of curbs you're allowed to touch. So they're looking at doing something, perhaps regarding still qualifying, because...
Is the car touching there, or, you know, but the thing is, he's not up to speed, is he? You know, that was pre this off.
Yeah.
So he might need to do another lap now and actually hit those curbs at speed.
You're talking, Rob Bell, about how everybody is sort of rehearsing what they're going to do, you know, coming into the pits, doing full heat driver change and everything else. For the marshals as well. Now, lots of these marshals do other championships around the world. Some of them will have done some WEC this season. Most of them won't. There are over 3,000 marshals here for the weekend. So all of these incidents are actually really important for race control, so that all the correct procedures happen correctly at every marshal's post, so everybody understands what their job is, what is required, the head of each marshal's post, and they, like us, will cycle through in their stints. They've all got to have experience of that before we get to the race, because you don't want to be making mistakes in the race with the marshals and with the safety, as well as every other element of it.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, safety is the biggest element there. Absolutely, you do not want a marshal on putting himself in danger on the circuit if there's not a slow zone, or even when it is full course yellow and slow zone, there's still an element of risk. So yeah, absolutely, let's get these guys systems in place, get them used to this year of cars going around.
And we have different layers and levels of safety intervention. So the full course yellow, or the slow zone, which protects one corner or a couple of corners for an incident exactly like that. There'll be a slow zone there. Rest of the track, have at it, boys. Then you go to full course yellow or virtual safety car, which is what we use, where everybody comes down to 80 kilometers an hour. Pits remain open for a couple of laps, allows everybody to fuel if they need to, and that automatically then goes on to a full safety car, from which we can reset the field, wave around cars that are, you know, to try and prevent people losing laps and so on. So all of these rules, which are different in world endurance from, say, F1 or from SRO regulations, racing or anything else, everybody needs to be familiar with. Not just us, not just the teams, not just the fans, but the safety crews as well. So free practice covers all bases.
This program is presented by Total.
All the crevices of car 23, and I think he'll do a little wiggle, a Scandinavian flick perhaps, to make sure some of those stones drop out but not on the racing line, to help with everyone else's run into Porsche curves, which is a very important place. It's where big accidents can happen, but it's also, as far as the stop clock is concerned, where you can gain and indeed lose lots of time. You have to be brave on the route into Porsche curves. After that bit was redone many years ago now, Bruce, it sort of, you know, sorts the really gung-ho drivers from those that are not willing to drop time necessarily, but are doing the sensible thing. They'd probably be doing the thing that you and I would prefer to do. But some of the speeds that we saw, certainly in LMP1 days, of the approaches through Porsche curves in the Porsche and the Audi, unbelievable. It's like it's on fast forward.
They still defy the laws of physics many times, and to me it's the most fearsome corner on the circuit. You might say, of course, you know, decades ago the banks were up against the edge of the circuit, there's much more runoff, but there's reason for it. But let's find out what's happening down in the CrowdStrike pit and paddock lane with Dinah Binks.
Thank you very much. I'm with Ian James from the Heart of Racing. Ian, the car's been inside the garage for sort of quite some time. It looks like you're doing a fair amount of work on it. What are the issues here, if any?
We just got a little bit of a leak around one of the drive shaft boots, so just a precautionary change while we can.
That's what this session's for, isn't it? Just to catch anything that you can ahead of that qualifying session later. But what have you learnt so far?
Yeah, obviously the track's a little bit quicker today. Cooler temperatures, a bit more rubber down, so all the cars have gone a little bit faster, but the balance has stayed the same for us. So yeah, we're looking forward to qualifying later.
Going back to that test day, were you satisfied with what you learnt?
Sorry, what was that?
On the test day, back to the test day, were you satisfied with the information that you learned coming into this one?
Yeah, I mean, luckily all the information is transferred across to here. A bit of a tailwind in the test day, so the top speeds are down now, and it's changed the balance a little bit into the braking zones, but other than that, pretty much the same.
Ian, what can you tell us about the LMH program with Aston Martin?
I can tell you I'm excited. I can very busy, not much sleep, but yeah, next month we should have a car on the ground and begin the test program.
So you've not started the actual test program yet?
Sorry?
You've not started the test program yet?
Well, we've done a lot of testing with a mule car and different iterations of the drivetrain and stuff like that, but not their final car, no.
You're looking forward to it? Why are you looking forward to it? What is it about it that's exciting you? Because I can see it in your face, you know, you just started smiling straight away.
Well, you know, I'm very British at heart. Aston Martin bringing it back to the top class here at Le Mans. The V12 just sounds absolutely amazing. I think it'll be a fan favourite, and I can't wait to get back here in 12 months' time.
Great stuff. Thanks, Ian.
Ian James chatting to Diana Binks with that CrowdStrike pit lane report as Mick Schumacher in the number 36 Alpine.
Yeah, and there's yellow flag out again, Megan, at this part of the track. Don't know where, though. It was one more with Schumacher coming through the Le Mans chicane. Michelin chicane.
It says MP26.
That's Indianapolis area. So I wonder if we've got a yellow flag coming in. That could be another slow zone as well in this first practice session. It's just green, yellow, green, yellow, green, yellow. Constant change around at the moment. Green again now. Look, yellow. And yellow flag again. This time marshal point 20. Well, we haven't got a map yet to show it. We've got a driver tracker which tells us where the dots are because they haven't figured out how to put numbers on them yet. Hopefully that might be Sunday by this stage. Yellow flag removed at marshal point 20 and 26. So there was 2 yellow flags that came in there that needed to be changed over a little bit. But back to green flag. Into the pits comes the 45 and the 25. So, I don't know. I think we're all a bit done with practice one, aren't we, as well?
Yeah.
So halfway through, and it's like, it gets a bit annoying.
What else is there?
Oh, Brendan Hartley enters the pits. So Brendan Hartley is here this weekend, Megan. I was told he wouldn't be, but he's here.
So I can curse it?
Yeah, it looks like you're going to curse Brendan a little bit over the weekend, it looks.
Again. He won once.
You're just really angry about that fact, aren't you?
About what?
Yellow flag removed, marshal point 20, but we already know that. Why is race control telling us that again?
I don't know.
It's glitching, that's why. Timer screen is glitching. I really hope that Eurosport fix the audio links.
Mixing this?
Yeah. Races with Alpine now, of course. Also on the list that he could possibly replace Esteban Ocon next year at Alpine, but I think it's
nice to have.
I think it's Jack Doohan's seat. Schumacher, of course, has raced in World Endurance Championship before. The name Michael Schumacher raced and won in 1990 in the Mercedes Le Mans program. But here is Mick, and he's gone 5th overall in Hypercar. Of course, he's in the Alpine Endurance team. He's actually in the 36 car, and Hasberg Lothran is behind him in the 35 car, running 6th overall. Alpine raced a lot last year and led quite a bit of Le Mans. We thought they might have it, but then Ferrari just took back as well. Is she here?
I don't think.
She would have come here.
No,
Julian Campbell, that's Beeston.
Yeah.
Just saw a picture of our niece canvassing for Labour. Of course, it's the big debate tonight. We're in the box, aren't we? I don't know.
I don't know.
I think there's a gap.
I don't think I was.
You're not in the box. No. I think it's 6 till 7 qualified practice. Or is it 2 hours? I can never remember.
I don't know. Didn't you put in to want to be there?
Yeah, it turns out I couldn't have gone, could I?
No. It's a shame. I can always take your place.
I can't even go. I haven't received an email.
People do say we are very similar, given we're brother and sister. That is valid. But
I'm just checking to see if I have actually received an email and I've missed it. Knowing how many emails I received in a day. Do you know, I hate this phone. I hate this phone and I hate this commentary box. It's getting so annoying.
I think you need to declutter things because then you'll be happier.
I need to take a hammer to it. That's what I need.
You need to go to like a room where you destroy it all.
Yeah, might work. Having Martin Haven in my head as well is really annoying me. Also, why was he at the British Touring Car test day?
I don't know.
Doesn't do anything for World Endurance. The amount of
92
rubbish
filling
I
up.
get in my emails, unbelievable. Oh,
all I get is Duolingo.
Get it, I've had enough of that.
You do know you can always search up emails, right?
Hang on a minute. There we go.
You can search emails, you know.
Can't be bothered. What would I search?
Parliament?
Nah, it's not like that. Radio for Van Horth.
Something is not right. I don't know what, but I don't have any grip. I'm super slow in the straights. I don't know what's going on, but something is not right.
Copy that, copy. We are looking at it.
Copy that, we're looking at it. Okay, so Van Holt then is coming into the pit lane as well.
Maybe you need a tyre change.
Yeah, how long's been out those tyres?
What number is he?
Take a bet. One of the Porsches, so he is number 6, 10th overall. He's been out those tyres 16 laps out the 20 he's done.
Yeah, he probably needs to change him.
Yeah, probably. 100% probably needing to change it as well. Seeing the sector times come through. Timing screens, by the way, are absolutely mental right now, trying to keep up with everything. It's quite funny.
I don't know where we're going.
No, it's quite funny looking at it all, to be fair. It is the most difficult timing screen to make a sense of over the year. That is the BMW WRT team with Valentino Rossi, and he has come into the pit lane. The number 6 Porsche, though, Lawrence Van Horth changing it over. And they're going to change setup and toe links as well, just to see if anything needs adjusting there. Kind of makes sense, though, coming into it.
Can't even see half the timing screen.
That's 30 out of 62, you're right, yeah. So that's why I wanted another monitor exactly the same, so I can just put it below.
Is there a possibility that you could put half on that one and half on that one?
No, because that only does 23 out of 60. There's no way. We just have to scroll where everyone is on the timing screen. 60. Oh, well, that's a 35 Alpine slow out the exit of the pit lane. Why is that? Is that going to cause a yellow? There's a local yellow out there down there at the Ford chicane. Has he stopped? Has he got a problem? No, he's got a problem.
Oh, yeah.
Marshall point 3 then, and the 35 Alpine has come to a stop.
Who's in there?
Habsburg Lothran as well coming into it as then. So here is Habsburg now coming in. I'll take him and just call him Habsburg then. Not Habsburg Lothran, which is on our timing screen. Oh, well, at least I go extra. But Habsburg has stopped at the exit of the pit lane. Now, this will usually be a slow zone to push it back up the pit lane, but these cars can restart themselves. Let's take a listen to the Austrian now.
The engine's running, but it's not taking throttle.
Throttle link's broken.
Copy. Stand by. Come back to you.
Well, that's throttle link. So, yeah. If that's not working, it's throttle link. So it should be quite a simple change around, to be fair. This might be a slow Lexus.
Cut the corner.
Yeah. This looks to me. Oh, hello. Jamier, car 4 Jamier and car 34 Slaughter and car 22 Garg warning flag for track limits.
We cut a corner.
How often do they flash up on the timing screen like that? Well, Martin Haven's forgetting here.
What are we watching?
Well, Martin Haven is forgetting here that he's left the pit box, but in the pit lane with Hypercar, you leave the pit lane under hybrid power. So on electrical power, you leave the pit lane. It's only when you exit the pit lane that you fire up the engine and go drive. So that car has no... Oh, yeah, there's another one off. Or is that where the Alpines ended up? Now it's the Dunlop chicane.
It's another one.
Marshall Point yellow.
21.
Yeah, Marshall Point yellow flag. Marshall Point 21 as well. That's down at Indianapolis area.
21.
So multiple yellows on this circuit. I told you it's an interesting circuit, this one. It's so long here.
I think 3 must be...
3 is the
Alpine, and 21 is someone else. Oh, wait,
no,
20.
No. That's Marshall Point, not car.
I know. So
who else?
Marshall Point now, it's 3 and 20, so one of them's moving slowly.
Well, there's that's the 35 Alpine that stopped at Marshall Point 3, so we need to look for another stop to the timing monitor as the Alpine gets running again. It's not telling us who's stopped. It's in Sector 2, though. Double yellow, Marshall Point 4 and 21.
Now there's a Sector 3 one. I mean 4. Marshall Point 4.
Because the Alpine's moved over here. So this is going a little bit wrong. Ah, there we go.
There.
Is that the Lexus? Or yeah, that stopped. It is a Lexus. I told you I'm good. Martin Hayward told me to. It's double yellow flag there down. That's down towards Indianapolis area. So that's on this section of the circuit here. Indy.
Let's look for one of the Lexus. Where are they? It's right in the middle of the
Do you know what? This is really annoying me that we have to have CCTV cameras because the cameras don't get installed until Friday.
Friday?
It's the 78 of the Icodis ASP team with Kelvin van der Linde, I believe, at the wheel. Red flag!
Robin.
Red flag!
Oh.
They've stopped the session. Well, I didn't expect this.
And the Alpines got going again.
So they've red flagged the session and the Alpines got going, but...
Oh, suddenly I can move.
But that Lexus is stuck in the middle of the track with no access point, and they need to red flag it to restart the session. So red flag then. Just a reminder that we've never had a red flag and never ever will have a red flag in the actual Le Mans 24 hours, no matter what the conditions, because that's the historical fact. Even
Wow.
World Feed's telling me about this.
Wow, really?
What?
Yeah, the race has never been red flagged.
What the?
Are they just listening to us?
Stop
Not
copying
even
us.
when it was really, really, really wet
And
before.
how is Martin
before
Haven
the,
doesn't know about this?
The Audi lock start. Okay, wow.
No.
Is this his first one?
Do you remember,
No. How do you not know?
The
Martin
safety
Haven's been
car
coming
driver
for 20
completely
years.
sent us down through.
And it's never thought. It's weird we haven't had a red flag here
Right.
without knowing that.
Well, red flag, which means everybody will come back to the pit lane.
Okay, I'm starting to really doubt Martin Haven's skill as a commentator.
Does he pay attention?
I don't think he does. Can I just point out? It is... Also, how good are we that we only do this once a year for Endurance Championship and we're right on call with what they're going. But I just have to point out, yeah, Le Mans has never ever been red flagged and never ever will be red flagged. Even if it's torrential rain, fog, anything
Even
like
now,
that.
the clock still goes down.
Yeah, and the only reason it's never been red flagged is because we have it in the summer and it's on the longest day. It takes place over the longest day. So that's why we have it precisely halfway in the year. But red flag's out then. Let's hand it back over to the World Feed, who will have, I suppose... Yeah, well, we're going to have to hand it over anyway, to Radio Le Mans, who have got more information for us with pit reporters.
Fastest number 27 ahead of GR
Time for
Racing's
the hourly
Mike
report as
Wainwright,
well.
Ferrari 86, the 54 Ferrari of Francesco Castellacci from Vista AF Corsa, and 77 is sixth fastest in LMGT3. That's the Proton competition, Ford Mustang of Ryan Hardwick.
The hourly update. Hertz Rental Car, getting you to your let's go moments for over 100 years.
So with an hour and 25 minutes to go, we're under a red flag in this first free practice session of Le Mans 2024. Arnaud Robin, who had just left the pits in the Acodis Lexus, made it just round the corner from the old signalling pits, barely, in fact, and has ground to a halt partially in the middle of the road, actually, which is why there's yellow flags there at the moment. And that has brought the red flag out. No TV cameras down there at the moment, but we have the circuit TV, CCTV cameras. We'll get full coverage later on in the week from Thursday onwards. Saturday, when everything is switched on. So I have to say, the quality down through the years of the CCTV cameras that race control uses really improved. Here's Ferdinand Habsburg in the 35 Alpine.
Okay, I'm going. It sounds terrible, but I'm going. Yeah, for the moment, keep doing like this. We know that the drivability of the engine is not perfect, as you mentioned. Looks not an issue regarding the reliability of the engine at that moment. Try to come back to the pit.
Now, this was the...
Going. Second gear, full throttle. Is that okay? That's good, that's good. Try to bring back the car, mate.
This was the car that had just popped out the pits as well, the number 35 Alpine Endurance team. Quick mention, welcome back to Ferdy Habsburg, and delighted to have him back. He looked fit as a butcher's dog's personal trainer when I was talking to him earlier in the week. He's been out after sustaining a back injury in an accident in testing at Aragon with Alpine. We had Jules Gunon filling in for him in the last couple of races, and it's great to see him back. John Hindorf, Paul Truswell in the Ford Performance Studios, and in the CrowdStrike pit lane reporting team for this session. Well, let's first check in with Diana Binks.
I'm with Ollie Mulroy from the Inception Racing team. Ollie, you've just jumped out of the car. What have you learnt during that session?
We're just trying to learn how this Goodyear tyre evolves over the stints. You know, we're limited to 15 sets for the race, so we're going to have to double and potentially even triple stints on tyres. So just putting mileage on the tyres really, and just seeing how the balance of the car evolves as we sort of build up the mileage on the tyre. And so far, really happy. Our pace seems good. Because we do the majority of our racing over in the States in IMSA, we've got very little experience on the Goodyear tyre, so we're just trying to collect as much knowledge as we can ahead of this weekend.
How much are you looking forward to being here this weekend at Le Mans? I know you said you're in the States a lot, and you do quite a number of other races in Asia as well, don't you? So being back here at Le Mans, how does that feel?
Yeah, it's awesome. This is my third Le Mans, third different brand as well. I did Ferrari, Porsche, and then here with McLaren. Yeah, we're really excited. It's a very different experience actually when it's your second or third time. You know, there's obviously a lot of other stuff in the build-up to Le Mans, the fans, a lot, you know, the parades, the this and that, and a lot of other pressure. And when you come back here with a bit more experience at Le Mans, you realise it's just another race weekend for us as drivers. All the main fundamentals are still the same. And you just feel a lot more focused on the job that you do on the track, and not so much. You're not distracted so much by everything else that's going on around you. So it's probably the most excited I've ever been about competing at Le Mans. So, and at the moment the car feels great, so we couldn't be happier really.
You said just a second ago, you know, coming back for the third time, you're able to relax and enjoy this build-up more, because it's quite a build-up, isn't it? And you said it's pressure. I was going to ask you how you deal with that pressure, or do you just now enjoy it because you know what to expect?
Yeah. I'd say the first time I came here, you think, oh, okay, should I be feeling different on the track as well? Is it like, you know, is it going to affect me in the car? But now we're very lucky in racing. It's not like football or rugby or something where you are there with the crowd. Like, we're with the crowd when we're out of the car, and we're lucky that we can put ourselves in this little bubble when we get in the car with our helmets on. You hit the pit limits at the end of the pit lane, and that's it. You're just in another racing car on a special, incredible race circuit, and you just then have to settle into your rhythm. And I think what a lot of drivers do is fall into the trap of overdriving, pushing too hard. It's Le Mans, I've got to perform, but actually I think if you go into it with a mindset that it's just another race weekend, you end up getting a lot better performance out yourself and enjoy the weekend even more.
With Earl Bamber out the number 2 Cadillac. First of all, last time most of us saw you getting out of a car, it was in 1,000 pieces, but how are you?
Yeah, good. I mean, we tested 2 days later in Paul Ricard to prepare for this event, so no, luckily the Cadillac's nice and safe, so I managed to jump out of that. But yeah, preparation's gone well and seemed to be quite quick today.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because I think a lot of people thought the Cadillac might be on the back foot compared to the Ferraris and the Porsches. Is that how you felt and now you don't feel that way?
It's really hard to tell. You know, I think in general, the ACO, the FIA is doing a really good job this year of getting everything together and getting us really nice and close. And I think it's mainly how you roll out. And, you know, we were good in Qatar, we were good in Spa, but we were terrible in Imola. And we learned from that and we understood what we did wrong. So it's really, if we manage to get everything in a line, I think we'll be there.
How important is it that the car has a year's experience here at Le Mans, or has everything moved on so much it's not?
I mean, it's a big difference. I mean, just firstly, operationally, we're miles ahead of where we are. You know, the Moodin garage is much more relaxed. You know, all the guys, the crew, engineering, everything's been working together for a year. So coming to this race, it makes a huge difference. And I think we know what our weaknesses were last year, and I think we've managed to tick the boxes off throughout the year, and hopefully we'll come with another step forward from last year. Not on car speed is one thing, but, you know, on pit stops, on strategy, you know, all those sorts of things. We hope we're just that next bit better than we were last year.
Qualifying's next. Of course, you personally are carrying a qualifying penalty moving forward. So is it something you're not going to focus on too much?
I mean, I think at a 6-hour would have, but, you know, with the 24-hour, I don't think it matters a huge amount, and especially with the safety cars and stuff like that here. It is a shame, but, you know, it is what it is. I think the first goal for us is to transfer that Hyperpole.
So you will transfer to Hyperpole regardless. It's one of these things where the penalty doesn't get applied until all qualifying is finished.
Yeah, exactly. But, you know, it's not easy to transfer to hyperpole in general. So
6 out of 23, it's a quarter chance, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. But, that's our first goal, is to transfer to that hyperpole, and then we'll see where we line up.
And I'm a year out of date, it's 8 out of 23, so the third now, it's even better.
Exactly, and I mean, it's great. We've got so many cars on the grid. It's fantastic for the fans. It's a great spectacle for sports car racing. So, it is something really special this year to have that many cars on the grid.
Well, thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.
Earl Bamber talking to Nick Damon down there in the pit lane. Our CrowdStrike pit lane reporter is John Hindhaugh and Paul Trustwell in the Ford Performance Studios here at the end of the Bugatti circuit. And don't forget, you can watch along as well as listen along with our studio vision via, a number of places, powered by Karting TV. It's on the Radio Show Limited YouTube channel, Karting Live TV, I should say. And you will notice we have our countdown clock on there, brought to you again by Shami and the lovely people at Omologato. That will run all the way through, so you can, I know many of you are watching. We are solely radio this weekend, so don't get your knickers in a knot if we're not talking about what you're seeing on other broadcasters. We're not here to do television commentary this weekend. This is descriptive, this is radio, and therefore we might be giving you other information from what you can see on the screen. But we recognise that some people want to do that. So the Omologato in-race timer is there for you to be able to do that directly to our sound, coming from a watch manufacturer in motorsport that has real motorsport heritage, Omologato Racing Time. Paul Trustwell, halfway through the session, and then got a red flag, so that split it up nicely. What have we learned? Who's been doing the long runs, if anyone?
Well, everybody's been doing long runs, John, so some more than others, but it's a good time for us to get a little bit of an indication of what we can expect during the race in terms of stint lengths. I'm expecting hypercars to do 13 laps in a stint. The P2's 11 laps in a stint. That's not really a surprise because we've had these categories for a few years now. This is the fourth year of hypercar at Le Mans, so that they know what to do. The thing that's a bit of a hard thing to work out is what happens in LMGT3. Those of you who've been following the World Endurance Championship this year will have seen the LMGT3 cars participating, and normally a GT3 car in other series will run for an hour and 5, maybe even an hour and 10 minutes, depending on the circuit. At Le Mans, because they have this restriction on the amount of energy they're allowed to use, as well as having a restriction in terms of the fuel tank, but the one that's going to catch them out is the amount of energy they have to use. And the energy is going to deplete at a different level, depending on the driver, depending on the driving style, depending on whether we get a slow zone, yellow flag, da-de-da. And I think so. The LMGT3s are going to be looking at 10 to 11 laps for every stint. So we expect them, we spoke about this over dinner yesterday, but we expect them to kind of slot in their pit stops after the P2s, but before the hypercars come in. Got a green flag though, so Trowers very eager to get back on with things. They're back on the circuit, and we'll see whether anybody's going to be able to beat that Callum Islet time in the Hertz Team Jota Porsche. Will Stevens, as Johnny was saying before the break, has now taken that car over. Most of the teams are now at least on their second driver. Some have cycled through all three drivers already. Others have had long pit stops, as we've been saying, so have some catching up to do.
Hello to Alistair from Spirit Wood. Great to hear you all on 91.2. On the grass at La Chapelle at the moment, hoping the red flag doesn't last too long. Well, the good news is you should see the cars any second now. In fact, you'll have seen them because we are back to green flag with an hour and 13 minutes to go. Hertz Team Jota from Toyota Gazoo Racing, 12 from 7 from the number 2 Cadillac. From BMW, M-Team WRT, that to the 20 car is the Gilly Moretto art car. And later on this week, if I scan through our extensive programme schedule, I will be able to tell you that the BMW Art Car comes at 8:15 French time, our special on that on Thursday evening. So tomorrow night, I was up in Paris at the Centre Pompidou, which is closing actually for 5 years to get a refurb. Nearly 50 years since I first went to that, and it was all shiny and brand new. It's amazing to see how it has, the exterior at least, is kind of toned down just a little bit. It's never going to match the architecture round about it. There was some controversy about its architectural style at the time, but it has kind of toned itself down almost, if buildings can do that. Well, we talk about cars having personalities and telling stories, so maybe buildings can as well. Anyway, that's later on this week. Fifth is and sixth of the two Alpines, 36 from 35. And the top 10 made up by the AF Corsa Ferrari 499P. EFA is behind the wheel of the Prototipo. Then it's the Toyota Gazoo Racing of number 8 in 8th. Brendan Hartley and Scott Dixon is in 9th, or at least he's just gone out in the number 3 car for Cadillac. And Porsche Penske Motorsport, Kevin Estra's number 6 is in 10th position. In P2, it's all the Pro-Am cars that's at the front, but of course the time will have been set by the pros in the first half of that session. It's Spike, AO by TF, and PJ is in the car right now. So it's the number 14 from the Duquesne, number 30, and United Autosports, number 23. Best of the LMP2 is the Proton competition, number 9. Whilst we get back up to speed, let's take a couple of CrowdStrike pit lane reports. Nick Damon in a moment, but first Andy Prio with Diana Binks.
Andy, good to see you here. You're here in a different capacity, so our listeners will know you obviously from your fantastic motor racing career, but you're watching this weekend and observing.
Watching, getting in the way, generally just being annoying, but no, I'm here with Multimatic and with Ford. Thankfully to Multimatic, they kept me on after I was racing in the Ford GT here. I've done a lot of development with them on other projects, and now with Ford working on the Mustang program, which has got a lot of potential. Look, I'm really enjoying it actually, working in the team, helping with advising, maybe giving some experience, working with the drivers and engineers, and looking for the sporting side, which is something engineers forget, you know, how you build momentum into the program, and yeah, just generally giving my experience, and I enjoy it a lot.
Yeah, all the experience that you have, you really bring into the fray here to give that experience to the team and to Ford and the development side of things. From a racing perspective, you're standing watching, do you still miss getting the helmet on and getting behind the wheel?
I don't miss the pressure, but it's very nice to have that moment to drive here at Le Mans, and when you're doing well, it's great. I do enjoy the driving, and I still get a chance to drive quite a lot with other development programs I'm doing for Multimatic. But yeah, I've had a good career, you know, and now it's time about, you know, giving it something back to the sport, to the younger drivers, to the teams, and thanks to Multimatic and Ford for keeping me here, and they still want me to do some races, you know, so if anybody hurts themselves, I might get in, and so I'm treading on a few feet, dropping a few things around here, but ultimately, you know, I'm really enjoying this role, and we'll see. It's just nice to be able to be in the sport. You know, I stopped after the Ford GT program, and I did miss it. You know, you do miss it, so it's nice to be back and giving something back to the sport and to the team.
Andy, great to chat to you. We'll chat to you over the weekend if that's all right. Sure. Good to chat.
Yeah, nice to see you guys. Thank you.
Up towards pit exit with Nico Veroni, who's in the 183A, of course. Well, Nico, you currently, of course, you were a winner last year, but you've decided to go to a different class of car in a P2. How are you enjoying it?
Yeah, winners last year. I'm really happy to be in the LMP2 class this year with the AF course, with Francois Perraudot and Ben Barnicot. For sure, I mean, when they tell me there was this chance, I take it. I mean, I always want to do Le Mans in LMP2, so yeah, it's been a great opportunity.
You had a difficult start the season with the problems in America, didn't you, with the Corvette?
Yeah, that didn't go to plan, but yeah, likely, I mean, I could fix a bit my calendar and do some extra races, like for example this. For sure, it's not great because I'm a Corvette factory driver and I want to drive the Corvette, but you know, that's that's how things went. So yeah, for sure, I'm looking forward if we can fix something to do some racing with Corvette this year would be really nice.
Is it more difficult to drive a P2 round Le Mans or a GTE?
It depends. It depends. It's different. You know, I wouldn't say it's more difficult or more easy. For me, I like a bit more the LMP2 from what I like from personally. But it's fast car. It's a lot of downforce, a lot of power, lightweight. So super nice. But I think it depends on the driving style.
11, Marshall Point.
And of course, you have to get used to doing the overtaking. You've now got a whole group of cars to overtake, which you haven't had before.
Yeah, exactly. During the test day, it was like, wow, there's more cars this year. No, it's because I was overtaking the GT cars. So yeah, that's a bit more tricky. But yeah, I think it's the same for everyone, learning where to pass and how to pass them. This year the GT3s are super fast, so good on the braking that it's almost difficult, to overtake. So yeah, I think it's going to be interesting.
So we got qualifying next. Are you qualifying the car or is Ben doing it? Oh, actually Francois, isn't it?
Sorry?
Who qualifies the car? Is it Happy Francois, is it?
No, I think I'm qualifying the car. So now, I mean, we're having some issues that we are going to fix now. But yeah, we're working on it to get it all ready before qualifying.
Great stuff, thank you. I've got myself confused even so, like there about where the bronze driver qualifies.
Right, we've got a car stopped down at the Daytona chicane. It looks to be, I want to say it's a Ferrari, but it could be a McLaren. The CCTV camera is not exactly that correct to see, but it has put out a yellow flag at Marshall Point 11. So that could be another yellow flag. Car 87 has had a warning flag for track limits. The team manager of Car 20 has been told to report to Eduardo Freitas immediately. But it is a Ferrari who stopped down at the Daytona chicane. Cool moms only as well. We're seeing down there as everyone gets some information. I believe that's down at the Iron Dame squad as well, coming into it as well. Vegetarian, that's a new advertisement coming on there. It's the 86 of Michael Wainwright who has stopped on the track. This might be a slow zone down at Daytona to get that one back operational. Of course, the chicane that has been known as Forza Chicane, PlayStation Chicane, the first chicane, finally got its actual full-time name of Daytona a couple of years ago, back when the World Endurance Championship and the IMSA Championship as well finally joined up. And that's why we've now got the Le Mans chicane at Daytona, and we've got the Daytona chicane at Le Mans. Slow zone is coming in effect though, Megan. That's going to spoil everybody else's lap times. But Brendan Hartley in the number 8 Toyota was fastest overall in the first two sectors, but lost it in sector 3 as well. So he's not doing too good out there. Thought you might be enjoying that one. Mean, aren't you?
It's just funny that the curse is working.
Prepare for slow zone now. So slow zone's in effect.
The fact that I am his curse. I just have to breathe and he does.
Norman Nato there as well for the Genta squad. There's Will Stevens, is Bodson as well. Hansen's there too. So slow zone is out. We're now slowed. Means on track, Marshall Point 10. Who's Means? Sure, that should be Marshall's.
I don't know.
Driver change is
Means.
Oh, hello, look at that. Eduardo Mortara has swapped out the 63 car to Danny Kvyat. Danny Kvyat. Megan always had a go at me for that. Slow zone now in effect. So slow zone 3 as they've brought a JCB onto the circuit. That's what it means when they say it. So they're going to pull it off the track, that Ferrari. Kind of makes sense. So Marshall Point slow, and so Marshall Point slow zone 3 onwards. So you're limited down to pit lane speed through this section of the track. Jose Maria Lopez coming to the pit lane. Hello. Now look at the amount of drivers that are slowing on the circuit as well coming into it. Megan's got a new book and she's happy with it. Yes. It's card, isn't it?
Kind of, yeah.
That's nicer to write in gel.
And it doesn't leak through on the other side of the paper. And hold up the back and sticky notes.
Oh, that's quite handy. Do you know, I believe Jenny's got the same book. Oh.
Track with a telehandler and a car. We will be crossing the track with a telehandler and a car in the first chicane.
Everybody loves it.
So that's why the slow zones out, they're going to be pulling across the track. Never like this bit when they pull across the circuit, but they can't red flag and they can't do a safety car, so slow zones nothing they can do. Full court show could be in effect, but there's no point.
They come in all different types of colours.
I think Rachel's got one of those. That's what she puts her combox notes in.
It's vegan leather too. So it's not real leather. It's faux leather.
Our headsets aren't real leather either.
Yeah. It's hardback.
Yeah, just in case anybody freaks out on us, our headset covers are not leather. They are leather, but they're fake leather.
Yeah, like my book, fake
and
leather.
Also, I believe the chair is fake as well. But
yes.
Yeah. So is that probably.
Last longer.
However, that isn't. That chair is real leather.
Yes, yes it is.
The comfy chair.
We were given it.
Yeah, the comfy chair that no one's been able to sit on for about 6 months.
Because it has notes on it.
Yeah. We need to get that sorted.
Yeah.
Because I miss that chair.
That's the amount of time. But you used to sit on that in red flags, I think. Yeah, I got these for us to share. I know you can't because of your hands.
My hands. So.
It's like,
all right, well.
I give you.
No, don't open them.
Why?
Well, you can have them, but we've got an hour left.
And?
Now well. Coming into it. So slow zone in effect. I can hear those being opened on the microphone.
Here.
Why mute my mic?
I don't know. His hands are irritating him because of a box, so. They smell weird.
Don't taste cheese either. So as they come into it. Mainly just potato. What, sorry? Oh, and she spits in my eye.
You do that to me often enough.
Vandalin. Ow! Right, you just put crisp in my eye now.
I didn't even have it with that hand. I eat with my right.
Stop. What's this got in my eye?
Stop doing stuff. Probably an eyelash.
Back off. Heathen. So there's the safety car, well, the virtual slow zone. Let's have a look with Vandalin.
Okay, mate, there will be a slow zone. When you get there, it's still going to be active. It's starting just before Tête Rouge.
So
that's where we are now, Tête Rouge, coming into it. Why are you giving me all these? Why am I being handed all these?
You've been in here a long time. I thought
2
you might
hours.
be hungry. I'd be hungry.
I'm not. I'm fine.
I'd be hungry. I am hungry. I'm a country.
What?
I'm a country. Get it?
I'm not saying anything about the size of it. I can get away with that. Slow zone coming into effect as well. So, they haven't even crossed the track yet, Megan. That's what's really annoying me. They've yet to actually leave the circuit.
They haven't.
Right, let's take a look at the LMGT3. This is the 155 Ferrari jumping over the Raccoon chicane. It's having a few bits coming into it. I'm really looking forward to Sunday where I get to eat breakfast in like 5 minutes while everyone else takes the commentary. By the way, this is how always the practice session starts. It's me and Megan doing the first 3 hours of the session. My God. It's me and Megan doing the first 3 hours of a session. And
Those ones are really cheesy.
And then everyone else just turns up later. It's really annoying.
And then I leave.
Yeah. But it's the middle of the day. Everyone's at work or school. So we're kind of stuck coming into it. Still, their car has crossed the circuit, and we should be ready to go green soon. This is why I don't eat crisps. They end up all over my mic shield.
Just put it slightly above you.
Come to the acceleration point, you downshift, flat out downshift, so in preparation for when you can release that 80 kph button.
It's like when you're sitting behind a lorry on the motorway, you change down, ready for when he gets out of the way so you can get past him. Yeah, same sort of thing. Now, what are we seeing here? Oh, now this is our points leader in LMGT3.
This is the Montai Pure Racing car.
And that is a penalty because he's entering the pit lane across the white line.
Oh dear.
Now, that might be force majeure. He might have been forced to, but that might just be not getting the communication box this lap correctly.
That's Backler as well. He's the only one of the three in that car that has done this race before. There are quite a lot of rookies this year.
And it's such an easy mistake to make, that one, because it's such a long circuit. 13.5 kilometres long, 8 miles long. You get the call when you cross the start-finish line. Your engineer will tell you, box this lap. By the time you get round to Arnage and you head into the Porsche curve, it seems like an eternity ago. And it's embarrassing.
Surely, when he's coming down, you know, towards the Porsche curves, when he's on the bit before the Porsche curves, you go, OK, Klaus, box this lap. You know, don't be a doofus and go around again and run out of fuel.
Exactly, and that's what you should rely on from your engineer as well. But sometimes that doesn't happen. And that's all part of your briefings before the event, based on previous knowledge. If you're a new engineer or a new driver lineup, car crew, you might come into this situation unaware, based on only your shorter race duration experience, and it's such an easy mistake to make.
You can't be going, mate, where are you going? Too late, because he's not coming round again.
I don't think they fueled the car.
Well, I don't know what they did, but whatever they did, it was a very late change to get in.
Slow zone procedures ending
soon. This is
soon.
the other Manthey Racing Porsche, Manthey EMA. And this, again, you know, each of the teams in the full season of LMGT3 running a pair of cars from the same...
Yeah. Oh, slow zone.
Down in 30 seconds.
But not necessarily...
Well, that's great, isn't it? Well done. Danger, everybody.
20 seconds to remove the slow zone.
You count from 10, so I'll tell you the other one, of course.
Quite fancy a cup of tea right now.
Yeah, I'll tell you, man. Slow zone's coming in. 10 seconds. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3.
2, 1. Slow zone 3 has been removed. Thank you.
And that's...
It will stop by the time we get out.
So we're back underway then with green flag running with 55 minutes to go in this opening practice session for the 24 Hours of Le Mans, the 92nd edition of this event in the 101st year. I still can't wait until we get to 100 years of Le Mans. That was last year, but 100 races.
Yeah.
I suppose that's 100 days, isn't it?
Yeah.
Could watch some more.
Oh. Have you said about the fact, or are you waiting for a race?
What fact?
About 2 days before.
I don't get it. No, I haven't. You can save it for the race if you like.
You save it for the race.
Oh, yeah, it's your fact. You say it. Is that driver tracker stopped or working? Oh, no, it's still working. It's brand new software. It's just sort of taking its time to get back into its running order as it comes through. So here's the Peugeot 9X8, who's on 20-lap-old medium compound tyre right now as well. We have soft, which is the white tyre. Then we have the medium, which is yellow, and the hard is the red tyre, which is weird because it's opposite Formula 1, so it always confuses me. Track temperature is at 26.7 degrees, air temperature is 18.9, 46% humidity so far, and wind direction is 242 degrees round as well. Oh, and car 87 has been given a 5-minute stop-go penalty for track limits coming into it as well. So, yeah. Class leaders at the moment in Hypercar. It's the number 12 Hertz Team Jolter squad in the Porsche 963 with Will Stevens now at the wheel. In LMGT3, it's the number 70 Inception Racing McLaren 720S as well with Brendan Ivory at the wheel. And in LMP2, back, of course, only for Le Mans. There's two classes, of course. In the LMP2 Pro-Am category, it's the AO by TF with PJ Height at the wheel. And in normal LMP2 as well, it's the Proton competition with Marco Campento at the wheel, the number 9 squad. But it all counts towards the same LMP2 overall runs, even though they're technically a different class. But I think for the first time today, actually, if I'm not mistaken, look, all the hypercars taking out the first 23 squad, yeah, they're all in order. Excellent. So there's hypercar. Let's take a look at LMP2 onwards on our timing screens. There we go. So there's LMP2 and the start of GT3. Finally, we've got it working. in many respects. Radio, Van Dorn? Something about radio times 3. So there's the LMP2 squad. So jump to number 14. Hello. Should we try that, actually? Should we try jumping to number 14? There we go. It highlights it for us as well. It's not bad. But it does take us to the centre. And then GT3 as well. So it was the GR Racing 86 squad that stopped out on the circuit beforehand in the previous session running. So I thought there was a difference that needed to be done there as well. Suppose actually I can just press this button and it shows us the session statistics page. God, try to say that word. The session stats page, let's just say. This shows us all the information about who's leading which class, green flag time, red flag time was 12 minutes as well. How long we spent to green in total, and full course yellow times, and all that jazz, which tells us all the information. It'll also give us analysis throughout the race as well, so there's plenty more coming. We're even trying to get the green screen up so that if there's something in the race, we can, like a race control graphic or something, we can have that up as well. But we'll have some onboard cameras throughout the race as well, so there's plenty of information to show you up here. On the for Le Mans, we haven't just sort of stood still. We've actually developed some actual procedures for Le Mans this year. We played the 94 car coming into the braking zone, so I'm trying to work out who we're looking at here on the monitor. Coming into it, it's the Peugeot Total Engineers with Van Dorn at the wheel, and it's running in 17th place overall in this field. Not the highest Peugeot, that's the 93 car. That's running in 12th place with Michael Jensen in control of that. Google user, hello. Lamborghini needs to find speed. It does. Hello to Rogue, who says, thanks JB, glad it was nothing too major. No, it wasn't too major. Car 8 has been given a 5-minute stop-go penalty for a slow zone procedure. That is the Toyota number 8, who's been given a penalty on a said board, so not great at all to run around there. And to take a look at board with Antonio Giovinazzi, Italian Jesus, in the Ferrari 51 Corsa. Winner of Le Mans last year, of course, the 51. Coming into it, 290 kilometres before they come into the Ford chicane. And then you come in towards Recudemont, radio.
Track position is good. Antonio Giovinazzi. Crack on.
Position is good, position is good. Oh, hold on a minute. My timing screen went down around about 20 minutes ago on the green flag times. The internet went off as well. So I'll refresh that coming into it. Maybe it'll tell us some more information. Is that yellow flag or cars coming out the pit lane? It's cars coming out the pit lane overall. So it is all still the same orders, which is great news. To run around then with class orders out here at the moment. Thought they were going to go to a break. Let's hand it back over to the world feed. Megan?
Yeah.
Thought you were going to say something then.
That it's going to be raining when we get out of here.
Oh, great. Here's Radio Le Mans.
Having a teammate who you can make go quicker makes you go quicker overall.
Yeah, I think those days are kind of gone as well, to be honest. You know, there's so much data now, and if you really want to look for it, you'll find it, you know, whether it's onboards or, you know, ghosting of cars or even, you know, the data from the other teams. So it's, you know, you still have a personal, you know, driver feel that makes the difference from what you like. So, you know, but I think at Ganassi, Chip Ganassi Racing, it's always very much an open book. You know, ever since I joined there in the early 2000s, you know, there's... it definitely hasn't been accepted to, you know, try and hide things. So, you know, you hear about it pretty quick.
Second year of the Cadillac for you, Scott. Is the car any different at all?
Yeah, I think all of these have evolved, you know, some, you know, whether it's the systems to, you know, the setup of the cars, how they feel. Obviously, it's a little bit different for us. We're kind of the American IMSA side compared to, you know, the 2 car, which is the WEC side. So to try and merge those again is a lot of fun, a lot of great people. Yeah, you know, I think it's just evolved. It's just got better.
Scott, I promise you in the race, this questioning won't be as long. I take the opportunity in practice to get a chat with you. Thank you so much. Scott Dixon, the driver there out of the number 3 Cadillac, and an absolute pleasure. He's a champion, isn't he, in so many ways?
So when I asked Joe who was he about to talk to in terms of the Cadillac drivers, the answer was indeed Scott Dixon. Let's hear what Max Martin's got to say.
Limiter, we are power limiter. TC7, please.
That's the team WRT 46. Sounds like they might have been falling foul of putting too much power out from their BMW. Another driver called to the Beeks office, and all of a sudden that there was going to be another 5-minute penalty, Paul.
Yes, that's for Brendan Hartley's Toyota, the car number 8. So he's going to, and that was for slow zone offences. Also for the 66, that is the JMW Ferrari. Hope I didn't scupper that one because I misidentified that earlier on. But the 66 JMW Ferrari, then that's also got a 5-minute stop and go. There's several other cars that have also had warning for track limits. So this is definitely a theme of this session, and I hope either the drivers will learn that they're going to have to stay off the curbs, stay within the track limits, or they're going to be a bit more generous about how they implement them. But I think having enforced them at this stage, consistency is absolutely crucial, and the drivers are going to be the ones who are going to have to behave themselves. They just have to learn.
Various questions that a lot of people who are watching and listening for the first time. James Brown, how are you, James? How are you feeling? And one of our more regular listeners, just wondering if there's a requirement for cars and/or drivers to complete mandatory night driving ahead of the race. Yes, there are, Paul.
Of course, yes. I think I need to check actually on that. I was going to leave that until we had the night practice. 5 laps is the requirement. They don't all need to cross the start-finish line, but I think 3 of them do.
Yep, looking into it now. We've got TV pictures back up here, thanks to the amazing Sky TV. Something that Richie Sunak apparently didn't have as a child, despite the fact that when Sky came to the UK, it was 1989, didn't become mainstream media until 1992. He would have been, 13 at the time, and already attending the private college. So, Rishi, you can't miss what you didn't have. God, I hate him as Prime Minister. Unelected fraud. And he is an unelected fraud. He wasn't even elected by his own bloody party. He wasn't even elected by the UK. No, he wasn't.
Who elected him?
The top brass, because he came second in the thing with Liz Truss.
Do you know, we've had okay, hold on, 6 prime ministers, I think.
In the space of
5,
6 years.
Hold on.
Cameron, Johnson.
Cameron, May.
David Cameron, Theresa May, Boris Johnson, Liz Truss, Rishi Sunak.
This will be our 6th.
5 since 2016.
Yep.
So 5 in 8 years. That's a lot. 5 in 8 years is
One
a
only
mess.
lasted 40 days.
Let us beat her.
It did actually.
Apparently, though, she still thinks that Tony Blair was one of the worst prime ministers ever. Cars 2 and Cars 19 have been giving a warning flag for track limits. One of them is Palou,
She didn't
and
like
one of
the
them is Romain Grosjean.
Huh. She doesn't like the monarchy, and coincidentally, the Queen died 2 days after meeting her.
I find that quite...
It's coincidental.
What did she shake her hand with?
It is weirdly coincidental.
I found it massively ironic that the woman who hated the monarchy was the Prime Minister at the time that the Queen died. And
that they both had the name Elizabeth.
She had to A, run the funeral, and B, speak at the funeral. Which I found
so coincidental. Also, the fact that...
It's not great that 2 days after you announced as Prime Minister, the Queen dies. It's like, I'm not doing this.
I feel like Elizabeth II was just like, oh, now there's another Elizabeth on the scene. I'm out.
Can I just point out another thing as well? This is annoying me.
I loved Queen Elizabeth.
I'll just point out one other thing, Megan, as well, that everyone seems to have forgotten about. King Charles now, has only been on the throne 2 years. Not even that. And he's about to be on his 3rd Prime Minister.
Yeah, that is worrying.
Yeah.
It's just like, Did he even get the Prime Minister at the time of when he became king was not the same as when he was coronated.
Oh, the 183 has stopped. The Richard Mille car.
Hello, yellow. There
That's
you
the
go.
Ferrari AF Corsa. Well, the AF Corsa LMP2 has stopped, and Varone is at the wheel of that. That's coming out of La Chapelle down to Tête Rouge. So that's going to be another yellow and nearly... Oh, and look at... Right, now you can all see the name. Erwin Bastard is at the wheel and has left the pit lane.
Otherwise known as Bass.
Tard. No, that's going to
like
be...
a bass drum.
Yeah, that's going to be really hard because it's spelled, as you can see, B-A-S-T-A-R-D, but it's not pronounced how it is. It's Erwan Bastard.
You could just call him the illegitimate child.
No, because he's not. That's mean.
It's not mean.
You've been watching too much Bridgerton for that to come out.
I don't know. Whenever I refer to William the Conqueror, I say, like, referring to his birth status.
With the Hypercar category with the hybrid engines. LMP2, as we're seeing here.
So is it coming to
Conqueror?
No, but look, you've got to put the French as the yellow flag banner in out. Marshall
I can't do a French accent. I can do 2 accents, and neither of them I'm going to do right now.
He's French. Erwan Bastard.
We should stop saying his name.
No. Because you think, oh, Joshua's sworn on here for the first time. Nope.
No, it's a name.
It's a name. And anyway, it's Bastard. It's different.
Let's see what this...
Grosjean's left the pit lane too. The 183, the tyre's not on.
Oh.
The tyre is not on the 183 car of Nicolas Varone. So that is why he's got problems. And there will be now a slow zone because they need to recover him from that part of the track. So slow zone will be in effect.
On.
I need to work out what car he's in actually. Where did that go?
Maybe I put it in the other way.
Where is he? The 777 car in GT3. Here he is. Das Station Racing.
Erwin.
just call him Erwin.
All right, and Erwin's doing well. I'm just going to call him Erwin.
Slow zone's out now on the circuit as well.
This needs a lot of elasticity.
Elastica. Or it's not designed for that type of pen.
There.
Yeah, it's not designed for that type of pen, Megan. Look what you've done already.
What pen is it designed for?
You just stretched it out like crazy. I think it's designed for a biro.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, for God's sake.
Oh, I'm not going to use it anyway. Didn't buy it for that.
Rob speaks McLaren.
Right.
It's a shame I don't own any of these.
Inception racing going on now as well. Let's come into it. Look who's gone fastest. Brendan Hartley. One on a 3-minute 26.013.
Trying to be funny.
So he is 6 times faster than Norman Nato in the number 12 Hertz Team Jolter.
He's only just come out.
He's done it a few laps ago. So Brendan Hartley is the fastest driver on the circuit in the number 8 Toyota.
So Brendan, you feel like crashing?
Don't you start.
It is chucking it down out there.
There's Dario Franchitti alongside Scott Dixon. 2 Indy 500 champions. Dario's won it 3 times. And Scott's won it once in 2008. How many times has Dario won it? Twice or 3 times? 2-time Indy 500 champion, Dario Franchitti.
For Scott's currently asking for advice on the next time. So what did you do to get more than 1? Right. Hold on.
Well, Scott's had a run.
Right.
It all comes down to luck at this point in the 500. Look at, apart from, unless you're Joseph Newgarden.
He's so soft.
Newgarden had an absolute manic run as well to get his championship back in order. Yes, Megan, I see. It's nice soft paper.
And it's numbered. There's 2 ribbons.
This is why the commentators use these, by the way.
There's 2 ribbons. I can be writing 2 things at once.
You do know that the commentators use these for their notes.
It's so pretty.
Have you ever seen Jenny Gow's notebook?
No. It's so pretty.
I'll text her so you can see what she does. Look, there's Sebastian Buemi.
I love stationery.
Now, why is Sebastian Buemi getting ready to take over from Brendan Hartley?
He heard I was in the box and wanted out.
out.
It's like, so who's in the box today? Help me.
You are off his Christmas card list as well. Oh, riding on board with Brendan Hartley now. I always get nervous when you two are the same TV picture.
See that car, Brendan.
It's past the Inception McLaren down towards Indianapolis.
High speed yesterday, so I'm questioning the setup, just so you know. I thought the car was better with the spring at high speed yesterday.
Copy, makes sense.
So Brendan.
Well, that must have been the test day on Sunday then, not on now, because green flag, track clear, slow zone's ended. That was a quick removal from the slow zone there. Didn't even get the information from race control that it had gone.
So Brendan, you see that corner? It's really, really fun to just
It's the Porsche
spin
curve.
around on it.
It's the Porsche curves we're into now as well. Coming down towards the S's. He's flying through now, isn't he, in the number 8? Darker Toyota this year, by the way. They've got a lot of sort of like night racing for the Toyota Gazoos. So spotting them in the middle of the night is going to be a lot of fun.
Probably their goal, so they can overtake easier.
Down now towards the Ford chicane.
There's no lights in this area. Good.
Look at the virtual energy tank as well, or how much got left in it as well. So, and not surprisingly, Brendan comes back into the pit lane now as well to give over the seat to Sebastian Buemi. So well done, Ian Kirsten.
Weirdly weird about that.
Well, it's a long day as the 30 Ford runs over the track as well in LMP2.
Darn it, I cursed the one wrong.
That's the Inter-Europol Competizione, Clement Novalak at the wheel, just running across the circuit there. Down at Recouvrement.
Did they even try?
Probably. It's a long day ahead of us still, let's not forget that. We've got practice coming up later as well. All the streams, by the way, are now available to watch on YouTube. They're all available there on the running order. Where are we next? What time are we on next? That's what I need to check out. 5-minute builds up to everything by the race. Like it's a half-hour build-up. Are you taking warps? Like I can have a couple more hours.
I don't know. I'm scared of how it might turn out.
Yeah, I thought Megan might be. To be fair. So we're back at 5:55 with 35 minutes to go. So 4 o'clock we get 2-hour break. Round about.
I'm going to make a cup of tea when I get inside. A nice cup of tea. And then I'm going to make some notes.
Okay, well it's cold in this commentary box, isn't it?
It is!
It's middle of summer. Where is the heat?
It left us. We haven't had a proper heat wave in 2 years.
Ooh, car 11 at 99. I've got a 5-minute stop-go penalty. Did you just hear that?
Yeah.
Max altitude reached. That's coming from the drone, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Car 11 and 99 have a 5-minute stop-go penalty for slow zone procedure issues. Yellow flag is out again, I understand. It might be green, I'm not too sure. iPad doesn't really like the timer screws. No, we're green. There is the Porsche on number 6 with Kevin Estre at the wheel alongside Andre Lotter and Lawrence Van Horth. So they're just changing it in. I believe there's an ad break coming shortly as well from Eurosport. Hopefully as well, it might become TNT soon. This is the last years of Eurosport in the UK. It's going to become back to TNT and all under the Discovery Plus board as well. We will have Discovery Plus open on race day, so we will have all 24 hours in vision. So we will always know what's going on. We've also got Radio Le Mans. Oh, there you go. There's the ad break. I told you there was one coming. Speaking of Radio Le Mans, let's head down to them now as well with 33 minutes to go this session.
Price down into the 325s by the end of the session. So repeating the pattern of test day 2 seconds of an improvement last year to this.
Wow.
And that's with stable regulations. I mean, apart from the BOP. But the BOP is supposed to keep them all at the same level. It's not supposed to improve or degrade the overall performance. So Buemi showing that Toyota is certainly quick. Still the Jota team, the Hertz team, Jota Porsche in second place with the time that was set very early on in the session for Calamai, lot 326.6.
Are we still on the same tyres as we were last year? Have they evolved the tyres? And when I say evolved, I know they want to make the tyres last longer, so an evolution is not going to be quicker in terms of giving you more performance. It's probably going to give you more longevity.
Yes, exactly. Remember Howden Haynes once told me that he'd been to the Michelin factory and they had these little test tubes have a little bit of degradation in one test tube and a little bit of extra grip in another test tube. And you just have to put the right amount of each test tube into the tyre. I mean, inevitably Michelin will have improved their tyres for the hypercars. Goodyear now operating what used to be the Dunlop operation, but Goodyear now supplying all of the tyres for the LMG T3 cars. But yeah, I mean, they do have a choice. There are 3 separate types of slick tyre that Michelin provide for the hypercars, which are medium, soft, medium, hard, and soft. And you can identify those as by their tyre wall sides. They've taken that inspiration on from other areas of the sport. And if you look at the sides of the tyre walls, the hard tyre is red, the yellow tyre is medium, and the white side wall is white. The soft is white. So that should help us. And I would expect them to try and minimise their hard tyre usage purely for performance reasons.
Joe Bradley has caught up with Dario Franchitti down in the pit lane. We'll go to him in just a second or two. Around the circuit on 91.2 FM, around the world on RadioLeMans.com. We're live from the Ford Performance Studios at the end of pit lane, and it's time for a Hertz Hourly Update.
The Hertz Hourly Update, getting you to your Let's Go moments for over.
Let's start with GT3 Inception Racing, and the McLaren number 70, Fred Schandorf, is at the top of the pile there, and in second place it's the 59. Oh, that would be a McLaren. United Autosports, Nick Costa behind by what have we got, 58.7 and a 58.9. Heart of Racing with the Aston Martin in the pit at the moment. The number 27 car is third. GR Racing's Ferrari, is in fourth. Iron Lynx with the number 60 Lamborghini is in fifth, and in sixth position it's Vista AF Corsa, Thomas Floor in the silver and red Ferraris. In LMP2, all the Pro-Ams at the top still. AO by TF, and the number 14 car in 24th position overall. It's got about 0.6 of a second lead over the Duquesne number 30, and then it's United Autosports 0.060 of a second behind in third position, the 23 version of United Autosports. That's the United Autosports USA. In fourth in LMP2, but the best of the LMP2, i.e. the Procast rather than the Pro-Am, it's the number 9 from Proton Competition. They're another 10.5 further back.
Interrupting, the 27 Heart of Racing with Alex Riberas at the wheel has stopped coming out of pit lane. And I believe this is going to cause another slow zone, Megan, if what we've had before is, as an example.
Oh, we know it could cause another red.
And he's got going. He's reset the car. Well done in the GT3 category as well. That's a lot better. So we're back to green flag running with 28 minutes to go.
The highest temperature we had last year where me and Josh lived was 31.
I've just turned the heater on.
I Is it bad that I kind of miss 2022 weather when it reached 42 degrees?
Yeah, I've just turned the heater on and I'll immediately go, That's another Lexus.
I just want it to reach 36 degrees once.
At 78, our Codis ASP team with Robin at the wheel has stopped in the Lexus and is being pushed back down the pit lane. Me and Megan can see right now on our monitors up here in the comms box.
Well,
it is quite nice having that warm on, isn't it? The commentary box, to be fair. So, yeah.
People
20.
in Britain are suffering because of a cold for the first time in years.
Switch the car on and try to drive slowly, Cat.
So we missed the start of that.
So BRS having problems as the Alpine heads back on the circuit. Right, Rene Binder has come into the pit lane in the 33 squad. Not the other Binder we know for 33, is it? Brad, of course. And this, that's the number 12, destroying the bollards down at La Chapelle.
They better not be lying about this. Look.
So that's the Hertz Team Jolter Nominator destroying the bollards. Yeah, they better not be. They probably are though.
They always are. I just want a little heat wave. We haven't had a heat wave since 2022.
Valle's BMW coming in as the 78 car has been pushed all the way back down to the other end of the pit lane.
I think last time we had a heat wave, the Queen was alive.
That's true, yes. Oh, stop reminding me. I want to forget about all that lot at the moment.
We've had 2 prime ministers and a monarch since the last heat wave.
This is my island. Anyway, Nominato, I think, is going to be coming back into the pit lane on this lap time around as well. 26 minutes to go then. This is the LMGT3 field at the moment. Let's see if I can get down to them. There we go. With Inception Racing leading the way with United, then Heart of Racing. GR Racing from Irons Links. Vista AF Corsa, Proton United, Kudos, Station, Spirit of Racing. But where's Iron Dames then? In that running order. 61st out of 62. But the Iron Dames team have a chance to win overall Le Mans. Don't let their practice session here be a thong. They were second in Spa and nearly won as well at the 6 hours a month ago. So there's always an option, there's always a chance to come into it as we go into it. But must admit, one thing I love about Le Mans, I don't know what it is, it just feels nice. I like the night stuff. We've got the night practice coming up later as well.
I like the food.
Yeah. I love the night bit of Le Mans. It's so short though, it's only about 4 hours long, but I love it. Le Mans at night, it's just the original night race. Le Mans is the original night race.
I love it. Do it in winter.
Well, the latest we did it was September, a couple of years ago, and that was really... August, actually. That was... We ran it in August for a couple of years.
Just look, the temperature is slowly creeping up. I mean, it's not very warm today, but by Monday, it will be 19 degrees.
Heat wave! Car 22, under investigation for possibly overtaking car 183 at Marshall Point 5 under slow zone. So there's chances that the slow zone infractions are coming in. Oh, there's the 183 behind the barrier.
Next Friday, possible 20. Not this one, the one after.
Why are we getting investigated? And car 19 Grosjean under investigation for track limits as his 6th offence. So, don't really know why there's drivers being under investigation for partial Marshall points when...
It's like, they passed us! Alert the media!
Yeah, but... Look at that. Car 22 under investigation, possibly overtaking on car 3 at Marshall Point 5 on the next slow zone. Has he overtaken another car into the slow zone or something like that?
Was it an accident? Did he overtake the car that was slow?
I want to take another look at that. Oh, and Owan Bastard has changed to Marco Sorensen in the field as well.
Thank goodness.
Yeah, that's going to get annoying. Again, it's Owan Bastard.
I like to call him Bass Drum. Get
it? Yeah, that'll be... Yeah. You're never going to say bass.
No.
Are you? No. I just leave a pause and you're fine.
I'll just say bass.
Yeah.
Or Erwin.
Yeah. I know that A lot of the okay, never mind. I know a lot of the commentators are actually looking forward to saying his name in the commentary because they want to see how close they can get. Espresso, anyone? An espresso in what looks like a McDonald's tomato ketchup pot.
It does look like.
That's Francesco Parodi as well.
Remember, his dad does a good espresso.
Well, they're Italian, I suppose.
Yeah, it's a good espresso. Very good.
I have to take this. I'm going to have to do this.
Made me very energetic. Do you know Noemi once had 5 before going to school once? And she was like 14 when she had 5 espressos before
Michelle
going
Gatting on board the Iron Dames right now as well.
She's energetic enough as it is.
JP says, how's Mick Schumacher been doing? Yellow flag is out on the circuit right now. Cars 2 and 59.
Marshall point 6.
Have been given a 5-minute stop-go penalty for track limits. Where is the Nicolas Lapierre in board? Mick Schumacher's Alpine number 36 running in 6th place at the moment. Double yellow, Marshall point 6. That's a Tech Rouge. Yeah, there's someone off just coming onto the Mistral straight.
59. Stop and go penalty.
Red flag.
5 minutes.
Red flag's out.
Oh, it must have been a crash then.
Big one if to deploy the red flag. And
This early.
Well, there is a car stopped at the top of Tech Rouge coming down the Mistral straight.
Has it been crashed into?
There's barrier damage. We haven't got a CCTV down there at the moment. And of course, we can't see it.
Arnold
Robin in the 78 car. And double yellow removed. At Marshall point 6. Has the car got going?
Okay, it's good that the yellow's not there, but there's a red flag. What happened?
Tyre damage? Barrier damage? Something down there?
Let us see!
It's on the Mulsanne straight as well. Down towards Mistral. Hairpin, so... Number 2 Cadillac okay? Yeah, Alex Lynn's running on the circuit fine. I can't... There's nothing that we're seeing on our timing screen apart from the 78. There. Yeah. Car 86 is off somewhere too. Of the Ferrari. This is what we're hearing from our ears. You can probably hear the interference coming from it as well, back in home. So red flag's out. We don't know why.
Well, this is fun.
Yeah. Why had they red flagged the session with 20 minutes to go?
Oh, 22 and 14 are also running slowly.
That's Nolan Siegel and Alex Quinn.
So that's 3 of them. So I'm guessing crash into each other.
I'm on it.
Do you know, having this heater on has really made me realise that I miss the summer. I miss the warmth. I miss weather that's like 35 degrees.
Well, this is our second red flag of the session, of course. We've been on doing that for 2 minutes. And
we still don't know why.
We've got no information coming as...
Oh, and there's more.
Where is it then?
There's a lot of people who have stopped on the track.
To deploy an instant red flag, as we'll switch back to the Hypercar.
We've got the number 86 of Wainwright, 183 of Ferrari, 86, Wainwright again. Now it's just repeating things. Lynn?
Alex Lynn, it is. Yeah. He's now saying stop. Maybe you're right, JMTSP on the YouTube chat saying, is the number 2 of Alex Lynn okay?
No, apparently not.
Well, he has stopped.
That's like 6 cars, maybe 5.
And that's coming down the back straight towards the Michelin chicane. And then down Mistral towards the hairpin. So
oh, and another one.
Well, here they are. This is on board with Alex Lynn. So Alex Lynn's
68.
Well, Alex Lynn's moving, so he hasn't stopped. He's just running slowly.
So they're all just running slowly.
Session will resume on a short call, says the race director.
3 have stopped.
No, they're moving. They're moving. They are moving. Ah, here we go.
No, other people have stopped.
No, there it is. Someone's brushed the barrier at the top of Tech Rouge before coming down the straight. And it is the number 2 Cadillac Racing. TSP's right on it. Oh, it's the number 3. It's the 3 Cadillac. So which one's that? Renda van der Zande.
That's a fun name.
Is it van der Zande or is it Alex? It's Lynn. Right, so For God's sake, the timing screen can't even get it right. It told it was the 3, but it's not. The barrier's damaged. They think they need to check the Armco, and that's why they red flagged it in case the Armco's damaged. So it was Alex Lynn in the number 2 Cadillac who has spun, brushed the wall at Tech Rouge, and has damaged the track.
Doesn't explain why other people have stopped.
They're all registering as going slowly.
Oh, now Lynn is moving.
Now they're coming to the end of the pit lane. Session's going to resume on a short call. Let's pass back to the world feed then.
But
the barrier there, which is just 3-layer metal barrier. There's no Tech Pro or anything there. That was very early on in the corner.
But he was able to drive away.
Yes, he was.
So although that was obviously the cause for the red flag, apart from just making sure that the barrier is not damaged.
Which is exactly what they're doing, Paul.
Yeah. I was going to say, apart from that, there's nothing to do apart from bring Alex home. So we are told now, get a resume to green flag on a short call.
Which means we've got a huge traffic jam in the pit lane. And we'll wait for that green flag. They'll be just checking the integrity of the barriers and also making sure that Alex is not dropping any fluids or bits and pieces. You can hear this probably. Turns in, over the curb, slap right, slap left, bang. Slightest of touch with the nose, but obviously it's scattered a bit of carbon fibre all over the place. And most of it's gone off onto what would be the normal route national there. Came out of the... I made a terrible mistake the other night, Paul. I came out at Antares tram stop and went to the roundabout and turned left and drove the wrong way up the track. And it just felt entirely wrong.
Yes.
I try not to do that, and I've forgotten that. I thought, well, I'll nip out this way. Very, very odd it felt. Let's take the opportunity whilst the damaged Cadillac number 2, the one with the blue nose, or blue half nose at the moment, and he's going to need some rhinoplasty when it comes in, to take a pit report, a CrowdStrike pit report from Nick Damon, who's down with Giorgio Roda.
No, it's been a driver, so Michael Pedersen instead. They swapped over. I think it was a language thing. Nick, your car is virtually naked. What's the situation?
Yeah, I just went in the car, did one out lap, and then the car caught on fire. So a bit of a short session for me, but yeah, hopefully the guys can fix it quickly. I think it's an injection problem or something. For sure, there was a lot of fuel inside of the engine.
So it's an overfueling, the fuel injection system that's broken, and so it's a fuel fire.
Yeah, for sure.
Because they've taken everything off. So how bad was it? We didn't see it. So was it just? Did you stop immediately, go out, or did you have to drive it round? How did you get it back?
Well, just on the Mulsanne straight, I felt the car lost power, lost the cylinder. So I immediately called the team, said something is wrong. They checked, and yeah, it looks like an ejector was broken. So it just fired a lot of fuel in the exhaust, and it got really, really hot, and yeah, caught fire. So.
A weird thing to say, but prior to that, how has the car been going?
Well, I think so far great. I really didn't drive the car this session except for the one lap, but the guy says it's running better and better. We are improving every time, so yeah, it's going the right way.
Thank you, Mick. Just a quick aside, the cars are carrying stickers in memory of Parnelli Jones on the side of the cars for this event. Joe?
Yeah, the number 2 Cadillac has made its way back under its own steam. I've got to say, Alex Lynn doing a sterling job. It's just got front-end damage. It's going to require... I mean, this is scrap now. This nose section on the number 2 is now scrap. I don't even think that'll repair. It's completely devoid of the under-trace splitter section. And now as we go green, the track is clear. The Cadillac is back. It'll get a new nose. As the nose comes off, I'll see if I can get a look. Oh, yeah, that is scrap. It's just folded up on the guys as they took it off. And now they inspect the front end, see if the suspensions took any whack. But that'll go on now until... I doubt that we possibly will see this number 2 back out just for maybe a shakedown lap after the repair.
Our Nick and Joe on the spot at the right time. So a fuel fire for that Proton. You heard it here first on 91.2 FM, Radio Le Mans. live from the Ford Performance Studios, and our CrowdStrike pit lane reporters on top of that story.
Well done. And this was a lock-up down with the Iron Dames squad nearly making contact with the number 9 Iron Lynx. So the Iron Dames and the Iron Lynx, the two manufacturer partners, almost making contact. We are live for the last 13 minutes of free practice 1 here for the 92nd running of the Le Mans 24-hour race. Sebastian Buemi now in the car. Time is green. Now just looks like a slippery surface flag. So
It does.
Yeah. I'm really annoyed actually that there's 23 hypercars.
Or the Spanish flag.
Yeah, that too. There's 23 hypercars and there's 23 names. So that basically is that the entire leading race is just going to be hypercars.
Right, let's see who's next. Oh, wait, we can't see because it's all hypercar.
Yeah, which means I've got to do some really skilled negotiating to get it down. Look, do you know how difficult it is to get it down to 24 to 46? And look, it still doesn't work. It's like you need to be so precise with the mouse. As we take a look at LMP2. Ideally, yellow flag. Marshall point 11.
Who is it now?
Who's failed to get back out onto the circuit and has brought out another yellow flag? Well, Marshall point 11 is at the chicane, and it's an LMP2 car, I can tell you, that has stopped at the Dunlop chicane. I'm going to put my... there we go. Car stopped at the exit. Which one is it? That's with the CCTV camera.
11 more minutes.
What I never get is that why do the CCTV cameras never go full screen?
Or zoom in.
Yeah. CCTV cameras, of course, that are used by race control, used here by us. It just gets worse and worse and worse. That's the 47, Megan. So that is... I can't tell you. What's what? Oh, hang on a minute. What is that if it's the 47? It's an LMP2. So
Got it.
Where?
Vesti. Frederick Vesti.
Oh, Frederick Vesti. It's the LMP2 PA, Cool Racing, who have stopped on the screen. And that's the McLaren in the GT3 Inception Racing who's being pushed back down the pit lane with the marshal waving with the yellow flag. So, prepare for slow zone. Oh, for God's sake.
Just 11 more minutes.
We've never had a green flag run for ages. Now we're going to go yet to another one. Did I say stop, Mr. Heater? Miss Heater. Don't know. Megan blew up heaters before.
Hey, you're trying to kill me!
So I've had one set on fire as well. No doubt. Right, slow zone's out. So we are back in now. 10 minutes to go. The slow zone's been deployed.
I'm happy when it's warm. I miss the hot weather.
You never change your clothes anyway.
I know. I don't miss it because of the clothes. I miss it because I actually felt nice and warm and toasty.
Did you just knock your mic shield off?
Yes. That's how passionate I feel about it getting warmer. Doesn't it usually get really nice and warm in July?
Yeah.
Yay.
There's the Oka team watching on as well for IDEX Sport.
And Sarah's never had a warm heat wave. Guarantee she was born in the late autumn, early winter. But still.
Late autumn, early winter. She was born in winter.
She was born in autumn. Winter doesn't start until halfway through December for some reason. It's complicated.
That's Kazuki Nakajima.
Mentally, we can all agree that winter starts halfway through November. Or start of November. Mentally wise. Because it gets really cold. 5 minutes stop and go penalty for car 19.
Lamborghini Iron Lynx. Andrea Cardellini at the wheel. Track limits. Here's the reasoning for that one. Seriously, I hate hearing the fact I can hear the commentator in the background, not the cars. Really annoys me that they've mocked up the audio.
Maybe they'll fix it soon.
No, because they're idiots at Eurosport. They don't know what they're doing. Do you know, I just want to get out of this box. I hate it being in here.
And run wild and free.
No, I just hate being in here. It grates on me at the moment because it's all a mess and you can't stand in one area and it's just...
Well, you're not going to like Sunday.
Really not having a good day either. It's just like, I don't like being stuck in here for this long.
Cake?
No, shit. So, slow zones out, which is spoiling everybody else's lap time, which makes you go, well, what the hell's the bloody point then of being in here?
8 minutes to go, and let's face it, nothing's going to be green flag running from now on.
No, because they need to get that car out of the way and push it back, so that's not going to change either.
Basically, end of a session.
Still important running, I suppose, at other areas of the circuit. That's the beauty of the slow zone on a 13-kilometre track. You can still keep going, but yeah, it's not fun. Qualifying up next, practice later. Van Horth. So cars 15, 65 and 85 are under investigation for not respecting the race directions and instructions in the pit lane. Jumping it?
Probably.
Could be a penalty, a time penalty coming their way. Certainly would. I would expect that to be the fact as well. And it's not to change over too many times in the session. Yeah, so don't forget, practice 2 coming up later this evening, the night practice for 2 hours. Qualifying, though, coming away at 6 till 7, and then 9 till 11, British summertime, of course. You've got the final, the night practice. And then tomorrow, the same thing, practice 3, Hyperpole, practice 4. No sessions on Friday. Everyone gets a day off. And then Saturday, we are live as well with the warm session from 11 a.m. You're on that. I get a line. And then we'll have all of the running from the race itself. Come on, let the person who's doing 24 hours straight have a line.
I don't mind doing it. It's just, I'm worried I'll mess up somehow.
Josh T will be controlling the stream.
I know.
Or Jess.
You're going to have to, really, take me through things.
I'll leave it all operational for you. It's 15 minutes long.
I know!
I think you can manage that.
I'd be sure.
On board with Sebastian Boeri. Slow zone procedure will end in 15 seconds' time. Finally.
Now, no one else crash. Or stop. Or anything like that.
Well, there are things that F1 wants to just do this instead, 3-hour practice session on a Friday, then straight into qualifying the races for the rest of the weekend. As a way to streamline procedure, they'll do a 90-minute practice session on a Saturday, qualifying, warm up on Sunday morning for 30 minutes, and then a race on Sunday afternoon. To try and streamline the weekend. So it only has Saturday and Sunday instead.
No,
because then you'd have to think, well, it'll still be a 3-day weekend because F2 and F3 have to go through. It's only the Porsches. So by the time you go that...
I'd hate that.
Yeah, but by the time you do all that, it goes, oh, well, actually, there's no point in changing the weekend structure. Really hit my hands right now. They're burning me as well. Suffer with eczema, and my hands are just burning me. Feels like they're on fire. Literally feels like they're on fire. And I actually know what that feels like. It really hurts. But Wemmy then, 34 lap on medium tyres, he's not going to go for a run. Everyone will be on the soft tyres later on as well to come into it. 5 minutes stop-go penalty for car. I'm turning that off. Sorry. It's
For what?
So if you're cold, jump up and down. Cadillac Racing, Alex Lynn's back into the pit lane as well coming in. Car 22 has been given a 5 minutes. Because it's burning me. Turn it off because it's starting to burn me. Look, I've physically got skin burnt off me. Radio.
Yeah, let's just go.
That's absolutely right.
Right.
No gap at the moment, let's just go. Yeah, you're right.
4 minutes. 4 minutes. And then you can have a break.
I'm fed up already. I tell you what, if other members of the team don't turn up for these sessions so that I can have some breaks, I'm going to be really annoyed. Because
he needs it. He's going to be doing 24 hours.
I am not doing all of this. Really not. I'd happily just give it to the radio team and just bugger off because do not want to do the entire thing.
Kobe Ash, your new investigation slow zone procedure.
That's the number 7 Toyota. He's running 3rd overall in the running order, so they've already got problems coming in as well. Just keep an eye out on whether that will become a penalty or not from the teams. But they won't be implemented this session now because you've got 3 minutes to go. So if that's a stop-go penalty of 5 minutes, that will be applied at the start of qualifying later on, which that will really affect them trying to go in if it's the quicker the track's going to get. So 5 minutes around this place is crucial to an outlap. So that impedes them massively. It's a 5-minute outlap at this place because it's, well, look, Toyota Gazoo, Sebastian Buemi, 4:54 last-minute outlap. Same, actually, for Jolter and Callum Ilott. 3 minutes to go. Wasn't it just like 4 minutes, like 2 minutes ago?
Yep.
Is it me or does it just drag when you need to get out of here?
It does. It really, really, really does.
Even that, the timing tower is just sort of frozen. It's really bizarre.
Is it still raining? Is it still raining? It's clear.
Look at
Not raining.
Look at Proton competition in the 99 squad as well, with Alderlanger at the wheel. He was 2 tenths up in that first sector, and then he's 2.5 tenths down in the second. That proves to you how much pace everybody else has got. But I reckon we could be seeing something here. This is the BMW crossing the line first with Van Holth at the wheel. He's remarkably on time. Van Holth goes second for BMW. And up to 4th place goes the 99 Proton competition car. So the Porsche entry cars, but running under Jolter and Proton, run up the order. And BMW with the BMW Hybrid V8 goes up into 2nd position.
That's good.
Yeah, 2 minutes to go.
I have some good and bad news.
I don't want to know.
Okay, so Saturday, up to Saturday, bright, nice sunny weather. Sunday and Monday, rain.
Oh, very nice.
Heavy rain. Then Tuesday, lightning. And then the rest of the week for that is bad. And it's looking in the high percentages.
Right.
So you could have a lot of safety cars.
At Le Mans?
Yeah, it will give you something to talk about.
Oh, if it's safety cars, it's safety cars. Race day I'm not worried about because the team will be here. It's practice and qualifying that I get thinking about.
It's going to be nice and sunny for those.
Josh T's back for qualifying, so are you. It's an hour. And then we get practice 2 later with JT and Tom as well.
When's qualifying?
6.
Today. What? So you're telling me I still have to be in the box today?
Oh, we'll see. See who turns up.
Let's have a lot of people turn up.
Hello. Cool racing still stopped.
I was told I only had to do this.
I lied.
Liar!
I have changed the agreement. I have changed the terms of our agreement. Pray I do not change them again.
I see through the lies of a Jedi.
That's not your line.
I know.
Your line is, this deal is getting worse
all the time.
But you've got to go, this deal is getting worse all the time.
Robot chicken version. And I want you to do this.
This deal is absolutely fair, and I agree with it.
Great.
Okay, put her in the cargo hold. Checker flags out. Checker flags out! Yay!
Freedom!
Run! 3 hours locked in a box was hell.
Bye!
Honestly,
quick off.
I could not believe. Oh no! Kobayashi's nearly run into the back of one of the Cadillacs. That's going to spoil the lap times. There's the flag.
Good. Kobayashi was doing really well too.
Reminder, of course, that the man with the checker flag is not allowed on the track anymore.
Really?
Yeah, I think he died a couple of years ago.
Probably a wise decision that they don't let him on now.
I wish I was kidding as well. It really was an accident.
I really want that cup of tea.
Warning flag for cars 28, 82 and 11 for track limits. Very nice coverage. Cheers from Colombia. See you later. Thank you very much, JM. We'll have everyone else on the team soon. Don't go anywhere just yet, though, because faster lap times are coming through. The number 7 Toyota Gazoo Racing of Kamui Kobayashi is going quick. So is Nicolas Lapierre in the 36 Alpine Endurance. 35 Alpine's a bit down. Up into BMW goes 3rd. Porsche goes 2nd. But what could happen right now is Toyota could get a 1-2 in this session. Kobayashi stays 4th. Doesn't improve.
That's surprising.
Yeah, what about Nicolas Lapierre? I don't think he's going to improve that much either. Where is he? Last corner now for Lapierre. Oh, he's backed off. Oh, he's backed off. Right, okay. Well, I think that's it then.
Yep.
What a shame.
He says so as well.
First practice is always so annoying here at Le Mans. It's like you just want to get out as quickly as you can.
Mainly because they're all finding their feet and it's frustrating.
Yeah, it's qualifying. Like you go, oh, that's good. And then when you get to night practice, that goes, yeah, that's cool. And then you go for practice 3, which is 2 hours, and you go, why are we doing this again? And then we get to Hypercar, and it goes, fab. Then we get to the last evening practice, and you go, okay, so this is what the car's going to look like for the race. And then it comes to the race, and you go, oh, it's better now. It's all good now.
And then halfway through the race, like
death. You get to 2 a.m. and you want to die. And then you get past about 4 a.m. when the sun comes. 2 a.m. to 4:30 a.m. you want to die doing the commentary at Le Mans because
is that when most of the food gets eaten?
Yes, but also because you are so tired, you just want to sleep. By that point in the box, you've been in for 12 hours. And you look at the clock and go, I've still got 12 hours to go and I feel this tired. You feel awful. And then you get to like 4:30 a.m. and you go for an early update. You have a bit of an update from what's happened during the night from the Eurosport team. You step outside the box, bring a deeper breath of fresh air. You get a bit of rejuvenated, and then
time for bed.
No, then you go like, right, let's get on with this. And then you get to like 9 a.m. You have your breakfast, and you go, oh, I can do this. You get to 12 and you go, I'm struggling. You get to 3 and at the end of the race you go, right, that's it now.
Bedtime.
And then you get to 3:30 when you come off air and you collapse on the floor. You can't move. Like, literally, you cannot move. And then I've got to stop later because there's an England game. It's not the time to be a motorsport or all sport fan.
It's okay. I'm worried when you get to the Olympics.
Why?
It's just continuous.
I'm not doing all the Olympics. I'm not doing that much. I'm doing a little bit, not a lot though.
I'm really looking forward to the Olympics. I love the Olympics.
Oh, good. You can come on USRN then. It's Wimbledon that you got to worry about when we get there. In fact, I'm doing a couple of Euros. I think I'm doing like 2-3 Euro matches. I'm doing some of the Olympics. Like I like the cycling a lot. And then I think I'm also doing a bit of Wimbledon. I like Wimbledon.
There's a lot on this year.
Yeah. It's always when I lose my voice as well.
Drink a lot of tea.
Yeah. Wimbledon, I love doing Wimbledon. Do you know why I love doing Wimbledon?
Because you love Wimbledon?
Yes, but it's bright sunshine. Get the door open. It's on radio.
Warmth.
You can sit down and you can just start talking.
I'm looking forward to the warmth.
I like Wimbledon tennis. I like the tennis commentary. Because it's fun. Because it's just, you get non-stop. Backhander, forehander, backhander, over the top. Oh, it's hit the net. Fantastic. Oh.
I think that's our sign to go up there.
Yeah. One of our timing towers have just blown up.
It's had enough.
Yeah, the main one hasn't, though. That hasn't blown up.
It's had enough of practice 1.
Oh, there we go. Now it's blown up. Connection to the upstream data source. So it had to reset itself ahead of the last session. Okay.
So I guess that's the end.
It is the end. And I can't even tell you who was top of that session. Yes, I can.
I know. Number 8.
Yeah, so the number 8 Toyota Gazoo Racing tops in Hypercar. In LMGT3, the 87 Kudos ASP team leads it. And in LMP2, it's the 14 AO by TF. There we go. A lot of difficulty in the out session, actually. What do you make of it? 3 hours, quickly, we can escape.
Interesting.
Because qualifying session is ready now with an hour on the board.
It was interesting.
It was interesting. So, we shall be back later on for all of the action here from the Le Mans 24 hours as well. That's it then for first practice. 3 hours for the teams to get their eye in and to make sure everything is working okay. There is the number 5 Porsche as well, just being pushed back in. Qualifying is underway in 2 hours' time. Join us for all of that as well. But from us all here, practice 1 concluded. We'll see you again soon. Ready for qualifying. See you soon. Bye-bye.